out for the evening. More sponsors to get to, of course. We have the Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430. The way to reach our show, if you want to get involved in on a conversation, Lee's Air Hotline, the way to do it. If you want to chat with yours truly here on 1430 ESPN. The Lee's Air Weather Check sits at 99 degrees today. Actually, just updated, we got up to 100 today. 101 could be the high by 5 p.m. today, but 100 is the temperature. Manageable temperatures, and by the time Shakira comes on stage, it'll be in somewhere in the 80s for you there. So nothing too crazy here in the Central Valley. 100-degree temperatures plus for the next, I'd say, 5 days or so. Then we will shoot back down into the 90s, and even I'm looking on the horizon here next weekend, 80s on the horizon for next Saturday. So we'll deal with the warm-up, and then by next weekend we could be in some good weather here in the Central Valley. So thanks to Lee's Air for providing us the air weather check there. We also have the 3 o'clock hour sponsor, Clovis Truck Center. Clovis Truck Center, formerly known as Line-X of Clovis. They're the first, the biggest, and still the best in the Central Valley. And now they are bigger than the Bedliner. Clovis Truck Center, just south of the Clovis Rodeo Grounds in Old Town Clovis here. And real appreciative of their sponsorship of the 3 o'clock hour. Be sure to go visit my friends there and say Phil Bonatti sent you. So it is an exciting time here in the world of sports. Exciting time to talk about sports here in the Central Valley. Let's go over what our agenda will look like today. Of course, we're going to be talking to a few top athletes from the Central East Bengals. That's right. Get used to that from what we're going to be hearing as far as that's concerned. But it's going to be a good season for them. We're going to talk to E.J. Morgan. Brandon Smith going to come on the show here in just a little bit to discuss their excitement towards the season. And then we will get into talking Fresno State volleyball in the second hour. Lisa Rosen, who she joined me earlier this week. We're going to have an interview air with her. First time you'll hear that interview. We're going to do that around 4:15, 4:20 today in the show. We'll have my 5 at 5, excuse me. Maybe inspired by yesterday's argument, our on-island takes. What's a take that you feel you're on an island with? I'm going to reveal my 5, and our crew here is probably going to reveal theirs as well. We'll have some 50 states in 50 days trivia to get to, a couple states to get to today. Raiders preseason starts today with the battle against the Seahawks. We have some questions going into that game, what we'll be looking forward to with that. Some Fresno State football chatter to cap it off today and get you set for the evening, which I'm sure most of you are getting ready to go to the Shakira concert. I believe most of you are, because we just found out, at least according to what I've been seeing on Ticketmaster, a sellout is there at Bulldog Stadium tonight, which I'm sure Fresno State Athletics is very thrilled to see as a result, right before this concert's going to get going here. And a little over 4 hours from now, so hopefully everybody's gearing up, getting ready, getting prepared for an exciting night of music with Shakira tonight. I know I will. Before we dive into that, of course, we have our producers and our friends of the show who are here today. We've got back in the studio Jorge, who's on the buttons and pushing the levers. Jorge, how are you doing on this Thursday?
I'm doing good. Getting the stream ready, so that's something.
Oh, that's right, the stream. Let me know when that's up and running. That's right, we have our stream as we always do, usually when we get going here on the video side. So you listen to the show today. We are going to be working on trying to get video capabilities here at Fashion Furniture. We'll let you know when that happens as well. Also joining me here live at Fashion Furniture, hanging out for the day, Tanvir is over here helping us with the guests and being a part of the conversation. Tanvir, how are we doing?
Doing good. I thought I pulled my hamstring today running outside before we came to the show today. But, I'm feeling fine. It's just a little tweak. I'll be fine by tomorrow.
Tanvir, questionable for tomorrow. That's what we'll put up. The Q is right next to your name.
The fantasy football combine is a questionable for me.
We'll see what the warm-ups look like, and then we'll see if you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Big headline news, of course, we'll call it a top sports story brought to you by Valley Pure. According to Ticketmaster, Shakira sold out for tonight. People were wringing their hands. I think yesterday, at the time when I did yesterday's show, I saw 80% tickets sold.
Yep.
By the time today, 24 hours later, we filled the capacity, 100% tickets sold on Ticketmaster. Now, I understand. I don't imagine 100% of the people who purchase tickets are going to be there tonight. I would imagine there is a subsection of people who are trying to resell and see where the craze comes from for this thing. But I would imagine that is huge news for the Fresno State Athletic Department. That is awesome news to hear. Curious to see what tonight will look like in terms of the execution. That is another aspect of this whole thing that is riding on what the success level of it is. But on the initial basis, sellout. Shakira, Bulldog Stadium has an event tonight that people are buying tickets to, and I got to imagine that a lot of people in that department are very thrilled, at least to that news. Now is their time to come through with an event that a lot of people are going to remember and think about going to next time when another artist comes. Tamri, I'll start with you. Your reaction, sellout. For Shakira, how big is that for the athletic department of Fresno State?
No, it's totally big. I'm glad that it worked out in terms of selling out for a multitude of entities, not just Shakira, but also Fresno State Athletics. And I'm really going to be interested to see what the setup is like today and what positives and negatives we can find out of this setup to kind of help continue bring bigger artists to Fresno. And what we can learn out of this experience. I think that's another big thing that a lot of people aren't thinking of. Like, what are we going to learn about Fresno State and how they host these big-time events for all these singers and acts moving forward? So those are the two big things that I'm looking for today.
Jorge, your reaction, if you got some time there, your reaction to seeing that Shakira is going to be sold out tonight for the Fresno State Athletics. How big of a deal is that in your mind?
It's a pretty big deal, not only because the community gets to see a world-known artist, but also because Fresno State, kind of gamble on this. There was no assurances that they were going to sell out. There was no assurances that this was going to work out. There was a lot of doubts at the beginning of this. That it might not work out, but it all seems like it's going well. It all seems like it's going according to plan. So, for those people that are going to the concert, I mean, hopefully it all goes well and you enjoy it.
Perfect. I perfectly said. I think all of us are of high praise for what this is going to look like, at least moving forward for these guys. What I am curious about is what the execution is. Like I said, I'm going to be there tonight. I can't wait to kind of see what that'll look like for these guys and for everybody who is attending. Now, I'm already getting ahead of what anticipation of what the naysayers are going to say. Maybe some videos come out and it seems a little emptier than usual, and people are going to point out the heat, and I didn't want to go because of the heat, and that's fine. What the bottom dollar is for Fresno State is, did you buy the ticket or the ticket spot?
People were interested, right?
Yeah.
So.
But the other side of the thing is the return on the people who are involved in this thing. I'm curious to see what it'll look like as a setup, what the field is going to be like as far as on the floor or quote on the floor. I'm going to be down there on the floor. So how accessible are vendors to people there? Is it going to be a hike up to the stadium, on the top of the stadium, to get anything you want down there? What are the facilities going to be like as far as getting in and out, parking-wise? I saw Fresno State set up a shuttle, and they're encouraging, I think, a lot of the general event public to be parking on campus, it sounds like, and they got a free shuttle that's going to be bringing people around and all the way up to an hour after the concert. I wonder how fluid that's going to look as far as that's concerned. I think there's a lot of setup that the Bulldogs had to, or excuse me, the athletic department had to look into as far as that's concerned, and I feel good about the plan I see implemented, and I'm just curious what it'll look like in terms of execution. But like I said, I think I'll have a full review tomorrow when I come on the show. But overall, I think this proved a lot of people wrong as far as the planning of it and really the skepticism of it. And even me, I had my skepticism of, can this be possible? Can this be something we could do? And clearly now I hope this proves that there are opportunities for the hotbed that it can be Fresno as far as being a venue, being a place people can come, and a place that people can see big-time talent. And once again, big-time talent, like I said, because there was a day and age when Save Mart Center was a destination.
Right.
There was a day and age where the Save Mart Center held concerts that of legitimate artists who had performed in Super Bowls and beyond in terms of the legitimacy of those artists. We are not in that day anymore. The Save Mart Center is doing that. People are doing concerts in football stadiums and a lot more high capacity venues. And so Fresno State's had to adapt. They know Save Mart Center is not making them the money that they thought they were going to make, and Bulldog Stadium now has to be the cash cow it is trying to be. Who knows if that's going to be the long-term solution? I imagine right now the short-term solution is let's see what we can do with this thing as best we can. So that's where I sit with it in the big picture scheme of things. And so understand the reality of it. I'm impressed we sold this thing out. Let's be honest. I'm really impressed this thing got done. And I'd be lying to you to say that I anticipated it happening, even up to maybe a couple days ago. But I think it's wonderful to see. And no matter what happens in terms of this, I got to imagine people are happy with the initiative and the go-for-it nature of what our athletic department's brought to this thing. So that's where I'm at. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that people don't go into it thinking that
Hey guys, it's Phil Bonatti here from Behind the Bench to remind you that every Thursday you can catch my show live from Fashion Furniture. We talk about all the latest topics and news concerning Central Valley sports, as well as interviews with the coaches and players that are making it happen on the playing field. Be sure to stop on by and enjoy some food and a great show from 3 to 6 p.m., as well as look at all the fine selections that Fashion Furniture has to offer. That's Behind the Bench, live from Fashion Furniture, 3 to 6 p.m. every Thursday. I'll see you there.
No matter the time, morning, noon, or night, Black Bear Diner in Fresno has you covered. Breakfast, lunch,
A
and
couple
dinner
of
served
Central
all
East
day,
Bengals,
just the way
E.J.
you
Morgan
like
and
it.
Brandon.
At Black Bear Diner in Fresno, you can count on them serving up hearty portions that satisfy even the hungriest appetites. Plus, the little Cubs can enjoy their brand new Cubs Corner too. So gather your family and friends, bring your appetite, and make it a meal to remember at Black Bear Diner in Fresno, corner of Sean Martin. Black Bear Diner.
It was 106 degrees. The Johnsons were sweating, and their AC, dead silent. But 2 doors down, the Millers, cool and comfortable. Why? They called Lee's Air for a $99 AC maintenance before summer started. We catch problems before they catch you. Don't sweat the heat. Beat it. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, guaranteed. Call now or schedule at leesair.com.
Prices on steel and materials are up everywhere, but you can still get unbeatable value for your residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects at Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno. They'll match or beat any competitor's price by at least 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. Ready when you are. Massive inventory? Yes. Same-day delivery? Yes. 24/7 service? Yes. Get your free quote today. Call or swing by Pacific Steel Supply, Ashland and Parkway in Fresno, off Highway 99, or visit PacificSteelSupply.com.
Roger Dunn has the new Callaway Paradigm AI smoke drivers to take your game to the next level. State-of-the-art technology. They've created the most advanced driver face in the history of Callaway Golf. The AI Smart Face is designed to create a sweet spot, and not just the center, but all over the face. AI smoke drivers, fairway irons, and putters. The AI smoke driver, it's sweeter from every spot. Paradigm AI smoke drivers. Remember, you're always number one at Roger Dunn.
Welcome to the 65th anniversary celebration at Fashion Furniture, where you'll find the best names.
So,
like
EJ, I got
Steel,
you.
Bassett, Michael Nicholas, Tempur-Pedic,
You're on mic.
and so much more.
Just like a headset, right?
Yeah.
Playing video games?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, I got you here too?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Central Valley Honor Flight. Help us celebrate 65
Jorge, can you hear us?
and help send a veteran to Washington.
The Fashion Furniture 65th
Okay.
anniversary celebration.
Hopefully we're
There's
good.
nothing like it in all of California.
Hey, it's Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench for my friends at Valley Athletics, the new go-to sports facility in the Central Valley. Founded by Valley legend Vance Wahlberg and former Bulldog volleyball coach Jonathan Winder. Valley Athletics allows athletes to really shine at volleyball, basketball, and pickleball. Visit valleyathletics.co right now to learn more about enrolling in our current volleyball
How you guys
and
been?
basketball offerings that include
I've been pretty good,
play.
you know.
That's
It's been really hot lately, so,
valleyathletics.co.
you know,
Proud sponsor
just taking
of
every
high
day
school
Yeah.
athletics.
one step at a time.
Mike Germano.
Man, I can't wait to
Jr.
see you guys play.
Have
So we got you guys on the first game against Englewood.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll get you guys on the Friday Night Lights and everything like that. So I've never been to Collegiate. I somehow missed your guys' game against North when we had you. But
International.
man, that Central
Learn
Section
more at
championship
Hub
last year.
International.
it was something.
License number 0757776.
Career, not a career. Can't be a career highlight yet though. You got more time to go.
Oh, yeah.
As you heard, we are joined by a few guests here on the show now, kicking us off for this 3 o'clock hour. We got some Central East Bengals. How weird is that to say? With E.J. Morgan, Brandon Smith. We're going to get used to it, though, because I think we're going to be hearing a lot of touchdown calls between these two from the Bengals. Guys, appreciate you coming on and chatting with me before the season. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good, you know, taking every day one step at a time.
I bet.
Yes, sir, I'm doing pretty good as well. How about yourself?
Fantastic, and I am excited. I am excited for the football season, just to watch for me, but I got to imagine the excitement level for you guys. You guys are in the thick of the ramp up, the fall ramp up. What's the excitement level like right now? Maybe not in the moment when you're in the hot summer days of practicing, but where's the excitement level for you guys getting back to it?
I mean, the excitement level is extremely high. You know, last year we won Valley Championship, and then we were fortunate to go to state championship. Didn't end in our favor, but at the end of the day, we did go to state championship. We know what that feeling is like, and, you know, we're just trying to get back there. You know, that's our main goal right now, just get back to where we were.
Yeah. Brandon, what about for you? You know, where's the excitement level?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this upcoming season. We open up the season with 2 top 25 teams in California, so we pretty much have a very hard schedule to start out with, but I believe in my guys and believe that we're going to get the job done. And then later on, we open up with another top 25 team in Clovis East, so I'm pretty excited to play them as well. Redemption game for them as we beat them in the section championship. But hopefully we can get back to state, which is the main goal. Oh,
absolutely. And let's reflect a little bit, right? Because last season was as great of a season for you guys as it could be. You know, it's fascinating where the teams respond, right, to adversity. And you guys had some adversity right in the middle of that season last year, the back-to-back with Clovis North and Clovis East. But the response after that, and then to make the run to get to a state title game, tell me about the resolve last year and what got you guys to that level to face what was big bad Clovis East and everyone was talking about him, and to be able to do what you did in that section championship game.
I feel like the main thing that got us through that section championship was losing to them and North back-to-back in our first league games. You know, we did lose to North the following year in the section championship, so, you know, that did leave a very bad taste in our mouth. So first starting off, just getting back to play Clovis North and succeeding over that, and then playing Clovis East, we already knew our coaches had a very good game plan. They had a very good scheme going, and if everything went how it's supposed to, we knew that we were going to win.
What about for you, Brandon? What do you pinpoint from that time a year ago, and understanding what that was building to obviously this offseason?
Really just believing in the coaches' schemes that they built for us, and really just believing in one another after the 2 losses. Of course, a team's going to be down, but we really started picking it up, just believing in one another that everyone's going to do their job and make plays all around. And it's pretty hard to beat a good team twice, so we knew that going in that we had a pretty good chance of winning. And then, like I said, just believing in one another, and we knew we were going to win.
I think what people talk about most with that team last year, obviously, there's so much to the experience you get, right? Because while Clovis East had all those guys, those seniors, it felt like that was their kind of go around as far as the team is concerned. You guys stepped up in a situation where I think a lot of people are like, well, they had a few more years to get ready for this moment, and yet you guys arrived at that moment for you guys as a younger crew, and now you come in with this experience. Tell me what lift that provides, especially knowing from last year, you guys stepped up in a moment where people are saying, well, you guys got a couple more years to figure it out, right? So tell me a little bit about stepping up in that moment and what that does. Now that you guys are kind of now at the forefront and everyone's looking at you to beat you guys.
I mean, stepping up in that moment, it means a lot. We do have a good group of guys, a good young group of guys that really, I feel like we really mesh together. I feel like that's what sets our group apart from other groups, that, like, we really mesh with each other. We understand each other. We can talk to each other, be cool, have fun. But at the end of the day, we can still come together and get the job done. So, stepping up in those moments against Clovis East, it really means a lot, and it shows the faith and trust we have in one another.
What about for you, Brandon? Same question to you.
Pretty much just to piggyback off EJ. I mean, our group of guys that we had last year, we meshed well, very good together. And like I said earlier, just believing in one another that we're going to get the job done. And, throughout the whole season, all we heard about was Clovis East that, and all the transfers that they got in. But pretty much we kind of use that as motivation for us to beat them. And I pretty much got the job done.
Be honest with me. Did that make you angry a little bit, how much people were talking about them?
I mean, of course it did. Not hearing nothing about us. And even though we made it to the second championship the year before that, and then coming into the next year not hearing anything about us, of course, it's going to build up some anger. But all we had to do is use that as motivation.
EJ, was that fuel for sure?
Oh, yeah, very much. We did have a couple of guys leave our program and go to their program. And, that did add to it. And then us being ranked to go last in the track, that for sure added some fuel to that. But, it's like when we got out there and played, then we had a different fire, different resolve to try to beat them.
So, of course, you have the season you had last year. You get to a state title game. You get a big battle with Edison. I know that Edison team, really good team. We saw them last year. So you're coming off of that, and you're going into this year. And obviously the cosmetic side of your program right now with the whole rebrand and everything like that, how much of a story is this offseason? I'm still trying to make my way sideways about calling you guys the Bengals, calling you Central East Bengals. I'm still trying to make sense of it. But, what do you make of the new rebrand? And has the team – I'm sure the team's gotten over it. Now you're ready, guys, to be – get your stripes, per se.
Yeah, at the beginning, it was very weird, very different. They did want to call us the Kodiaks at one point in time. But we weren't going for that.
Well.
Yeah. So we had to settle with the Bengals. We do love the Grizzlies. We do love everything about that, about the culture. But now we're looking to start something new with the Bengals. I would say I like it. I do love the Grizzlies, but the Bengals it's kind of nice too. We got new helmets.
Yeah.
So we kind of like modeling after the Cincinnati Bengals look. But
not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I can get down with it.
Especially for you, you could wear the Bengals stripes.
Yes,
the Bengals
sir.
are the hottest wide receiver crew you can get out there.
Yes, sir.
As far as that's concerned. But same, with the Bengal rebrand, everything like that, first of all, I got to imagine you guys are a little more hyped than Kodiaks. It sounds you're telling me that. But what was it like when you saw the new uniform, saw the new setup, and I got to imagine it took just a short amount of time to get over it.
Oh yeah, it definitely took some time to get over it. I mean, of course, we're a little down about the name change. Of course, everyone loves the Grizzlies, but I mean, we have a new identity and a new name, which is Bengals. So we're pretty excited, especially with the helmets. We have black and white helmets this year. We're pretty much excited about the white helmets with the black stripes, just like the Cincinnati Bengals. So I mean, it's pretty cool. The uniforms. I mean, we're not too mad about it, but but it's what we could work with, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Let me tell you, I saw this photo shoot you guys took. Was there a real tiger there? Was that?
No
way.
You guys didn't talk to the Fresno Zoo or anything like that?
No, I would have been scared.
No, it looked cool though. It looked cool set up. How much has Biggs embraced this like Bengal mentality? You're already hearing some stuff from him about the way you guys attack and the way you guys adopt like a Bengal attitude? What is he bringing up now? That I know he's been Grizzlies through and through, but he's had to adjust as much as anybody. So what have you been hearing from Biggs on the new transition?
I mean, at the beginning it was a little difficult. Like when we get our breaks, we say Grizzlies at the end, go Grizzlies. But now we have to switch, so you'll get a couple guys still saying Grizzlies every now and then, and everybody else saying Bengals. But I feel like Biggs has taken it very well. He has been a Grizzly his whole time at Central.
Yeah.
But now just adapting this new Bengals mentality, I feel like he's doing a really good job at it. Really good job instilling these new Bengals rules into us, and I feel like Biggs really likes it.
What are the Bengals rules? You might, if you don't mind revealing, Brandon or Eli, EJ, either of you guys. What's one of the Bengal rules? If you got one to give me.
Pretty much just play around. I mean, not play around. Excuse me.
Hope Biggs isn't listening.
Fly around, and play hard, and pretty much just hustle each and every down of the play. Even in practice, just work hard in the weight room, and pretty much embrace the Bengal culture that we're building up. Like I said earlier, a new identity.
For sure. I think there's a legitimate excitement just on like what we can see from what you guys are going to do in terms of talent, right? We saw what you're capable of, and what's exciting about you guys, you're just getting bigger, you're just getting older, right? Senior season, there's a little more just a little more heft to it, right? And of course, you guys have committed to 2 different places, right? And so you don't have that hard decision to make this time of year. You can kind of play freely in that sense and make sure you guys are set up that way. So I'll start with Brandon this time, and we'll go to EJ. What does a senior season feel like? What does that prep feel like right now for you, getting ready for a one last hurrah per se before you go to Arizona?
I mean, it feels very weird knowing that this is my last high school season ever, but I'm pretty much just focused on getting back to the section championship and winning again, and then get back to state and ultimately just winning, which is our the biggest goal that we have. I mean, of course, we want to win track, go 5-0 in preseason, but I mean, ultimately the goal is just to win state and make sure we go back to that.
EJ, what about for you? Reflective a little bit. How do you handle coming into a senior year? You're committed to Cal, so take me through what that prep is like for you and how you've kind of reflected on getting ready for a senior year.
I mean, just to piggyback off what Brendan said, it does feel a little weird, but this is the last hoorah, this is the last go, so you got to put everything into it. For us, I feel like the biggest thing that we have to focus on is paying attention to the little details, doing the little things right. Our coach has been saying that since day one of our freshman year.
Day one.
Just do the little things right, and everything will pay off in the bigger picture. So, yeah.
Of course, we'd love to have a lot of the teammates here and talk about him, but you guys are the conduits of give me something we don't know about some of your teammates, and I'll give a couple names here. And we start with Jelani Deppel, right, because I'm really impressed with what he did in that Central Section Championship. So what is something people don't know about him going into his junior season?
I feel like one thing about Jelani that stands out to me is just his resolve. Jelani, he's far from the biggest person on the field, but, Jelani isn't scared to go heads up with the biggest linebacker, the biggest DN from the opposing team. I feel like Jelani's best defining moment was honestly our state playoff game against St. Ignatius, where he took a couple hits from their biggest D lineman.
Yeah.
But he got up each and every time and just continued to play ball.
Jelani, the way he kind of just goes about his business. Is he a talker at practice? I feel like some quarterbacks can be talkers sometimes when things are going well. Does he talk? Or?
I mean, there's times where he is a little talkative, but mainly he's pretty much quiet into himself.
Okay. Gotcha. He lets the play stand up.
Oh, yeah, very much.
You talked about, sometimes there's the biggest – he's not the biggest guy, but there is a guy who I think he may be the biggest guy, Bayon Harris, too, sometimes with his stature. EJ, what's it like lining up with Bayon and what he kind of can kind of do? And it amazes me. He's just only a junior, what he looks like.
I mean, lining up with Bayon, it's amazing. Bayon is a freak of nature, my dad often calls him Megatron just because of his size and the way he attacks the ball in the air. It's amazing, I feel like Bayon is a really good threat. He's something good to have on the team. It takes eyes off of me sometimes, so I don't get double teamed. He's getting double teamed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bayon is a really good guy. Very good to be around. I feel like he's another one of those guys that just we mesh really well together. I feel like our whole receiving core is just like we're just cool. We can hang out during football, after football, and we're all cool together. So I feel like that's what makes us a really good receiving core.
You got to meld together as a receiver. Even though you guys have your individual things and your individual routes, do you feel like you're constantly like, I'm working on this move, I'm doing this kind of thing. Here, let me show you something I've been doing with my footwork kind of thing. How much is that in the wide receiver core?
I feel like our wide receiver core, we hold each other accountable a lot. Bayon, I've been around Bayon since I was little. Zeb, why I've grown up with Zeb, he was my little league quarterback. So, I feel like we can talk to each other, that really like uplifts each other. You know, we do work in the off season together. So I feel like if one person has one little thing they're working on, we try to adapt that to everybody so that everybody learns instead of just one person.
Brandon, what's a Central East Bengal people may not know quite about that people are going to know about this season, or somebody who they should know about that's been shining so far in fall camp for you?
The standout that I have is Juan Ochoa. I mean, of course, he started for us last year as a middle backer, but he kind of got overshadowed by Aiden Chavez. I mean, it's pretty hard not to get overshadowed by Aiden Chavez. But, I mean, Juan's pretty much been showing up every day. He's pretty much the hardest worker on our team that I would say. I mean, he comes in every day just working hard and making plays around. And he picks up things very well, and he pretty much has been showing out.
Yeah, he certainly. I see some of his stats. You know, especially what he did. A big contributor in that playoff game, especially against Central East. I'm looking at Clovis East as far as that's concerned. So he's been a big contributor. Like I said, so many returning guys, so many big contributors to this team that are coming back for this year. Now we're gonna put you guys on the spot because we're gonna do complimentary time to each other because we're just gonna do that. So EJ, what stands out about Brandon and his ability at the running back position, what he does for you guys?
I feel like Brandon's work ethic is his best attribute. You know, whether it's raining, whether it's cold, whether it's 105 degrees, Brandon's going to go out there and get some work done. I feel like for us, he just contributes all over the ball. You know, he is primarily a running back, but he's a really good safety and outside backer. And I feel like him being on both sides of the ball really contributes very well. And, you know, I'm happy to have that on the team. He often wants to be a kick returner, but I feel like if he did that, he would still be very good at it. But, yeah, I feel like wherever Brandon is, he's going to contribute to the team very well as a leader and as a football player.
Ray, is Biggs ever going to get you a kick return? Or?
I mean, I hope so. We've been talking about it, but I doubt it.
Maybe like last kickoff of the year, like when he feels like it's like towards the tail end. Maybe one time.
Hopefully.
Maybe one time. Yeah. Brandon, what stands out about EJ and the way he goes about his business?
The thing that's standing out about EJ is just the way he carries himself. He doesn't really showboat about his offers and how he's dealing. He pretty much just comes in every day, pretty much just work as he has 0 offers and 0 stars and pretty much like that. And that's the biggest thing that we need in our team is that we don't need a bunch of people that like to show out. We just need everyone that likes to come together and work hard as one team. But pretty much on the field, I mean, he's a great contributor for us. His speed, he just outruns everyone. And then, of course, the touchdowns. I mean, that's the amazing part about it. One amazing part about his speed. I mean, his hands are very good. And he gets past the linebackers. Once you get past the second level, I mean, he's gone. No one's going to catch him.
What's film study like when you're watching some EJ Morgan touchdown catches? What's that like?
I mean, it's amazing. Once he gets the ball, he's just gone. You throw him on a bubble screen. I mean, he's going to take it to the crib. If you throw him on a fade, I mean, he's pretty much just by himself, wide open. So all he has to do is pretty much just jog into the end zone. He's done.
And they're shooting and hollering on a Monday afternoon, right?
Definitely. Celebrations.
For sure. You guys got Englewood to start. That's no easy task, but they're here in your building, and that's exciting, right? To bring talent like that up here to the Central Valley and let them know what the Central Section's all about. So how important is a statement game like this for you guys? I know it's not in the grand scheme of the track, and I'm sure it'll do stuff for the rankings and everything, but how exciting is this opportunity to have Englewood come into town and face you guys at the top of the season?
I mean, it's very exciting. You know, when you go to SoCal, you pretty much just hear about SoCal teams and NorCal teams facing off each other, but you never hear about the Central Valley teams. So, you know, I feel like us playing them is really just like a statement game, really putting our name on the map, really getting out there and showing that we can compete with any team in California.
Brandon, what about you? That opportunity, right, to just kind of say, hey, Central Section, we're here. We got some teams too.
Oh, yeah, it's a big opportunity. I mean, they have some guys that has a lot of offers, D1 recruits, but so do we. So I'm pretty excited just to see how we match up with them and how we'll be able to show as our first game. I mean, of course, we have some new faces on our team that's really going to have to step up. I mean, we don't have a lot of guys just like every year we don't. But, I mean, some guys are really going to have to step up. So it's going to show how much different we are than last year.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see you guys. And obviously, I'm revealing it now. We are going to be calling that game on 1430 ESPN Fresno on the 22nd. So we will have you guys on the primetime broadcast for that. Central East versus Inglewood, 7:30, maybe 7 o'clock. I got to check that time there. 7 o'clock. So yeah, we don't have to wait as long as I thought. So 7 o'clock on that Friday night. We'll be there, myself and Paul Metters. Last couple questions for you guys. You're excited about the season, this opportunity. You guys both have hard commitments to where you're going. I'm just curious, just what excites you about understanding and knowing and feeling the relief sometimes maybe of having that settled and knowing that you feel like you're in a good spot, knowing where you're going. I'll start with Brandon going to Arizona. What feels great about that as far as having that settled in?
What feels great is pretty much just just getting the pressure off my back from trying to pick the correct spot. I mean, it's pretty much a huge decision knowing that you're going to go to the school for the next 3 to 4 years, sometimes 5 years. But I mean, just having trust in my supporting staff that I have around me, and just the college coaches. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest thing why I chose Arizona, and just the way the coaches are very genuine, and they brought in a new offensive coordinator. I mean, I love him. He gets his athletes in space, so that's pretty much what I love about it.
And then EJ, same for you. Cal, settled in with the Bears there. What about that opportunity excites you? And, of course, that relief that you don't have to really think about that tough decision here in the fall.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I feel like one thing people don't tell you about recruitment is how stressful it is and how draining it can be. So, just getting that weight just lifted off my shoulders lets me actually be able to focus on football, focus on my craft, and be able to play, I really like all the coaches there. They did hire a completely new offensive staff from the OC to the running backs coach. And, I feel like I really like every coach there. Like, I know the OC, I meshed with him really well. Same with the wide receiver coach, the head coach, and assistant coach. I feel like everybody there is just a great group of guys, and I feel like I could really succeed there.
I grew up rooting for Cal when I was in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I just think of my days watching Deshaun Jackson do his thing. I'm wondering if you can beat his speed records out there as far as that's concerned. So that'll be a high bar to pass there. But you guys got the talent. You guys are a great team. I'm looking forward to seeing this year. Certainly a track contender this year, and we will be calling some games for you guys this season, starting with the game against Inglewood on the 22nd of August. It is right around the corner, guys. Can't wait. I appreciate you guys taking the time and coming on down here and talking some Central East Bengal football.
Yeah.
And it's coming, and it's here. And we can't wait to see what the Stripes look like in action in a couple of weeks. So, guys, appreciate it as always, and stay cool out there, and best of luck the rest of the offseason.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Of course, thank you for having us.
All right. EJ Morgan, Brandon Smith here on 1430 ESPN. We'll be right back with more Behind the Bench right here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
They say when you do one thing long enough, you get to be pretty good at it. Locally owned businesses led by multiple generations of family learn early on about the value of customer service. Of course, having great products, especially in the world of technology, is a clear advantage, but nothing is more important than making customers your number one priority. My suggestion for the right company for digital office technologies and services is CBM, California Business Machines. With offices in Fresno and Visalia, this top-tier Kyocera dealer has led the category, not only in technology, but with customer service. When you partner with CBM, you're aligning your business with a premier, nationally recognized company. Since 1953, CBM has been helping Valley businesses manage, change, streamline, and control their expenses. In fact, California Business Machines pioneered the 3-cent color copy, and I'm sure they'd love to tell you more. Call 225-5570 or check them out online at cbmsolution.com.
Need cash? If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Clausen Honda wants to buy your car. If it's running, we want your late model Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, Acura, or Honda. Just call Clausen and ask for our VUP to schedule your appraisal appointment. In just 10 minutes, you'll get your cash value quote. Yes, we are eliminating the hassle of getting rid of your used old car. So if you're ready to sell, we are ready to buy. Call Clausen Honda of Fresno today. If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Get cash for your car. Clausen Honda.
Thank you for coming to the reading of Eleanor Bigworth's last will and testament.
I just took care of Mrs. Bigworth's koi pond, so I'm not really sure why I'm here. And why am I the only one here?
Because, sir, Mrs. Bigworth left her entire fortune to you.
Oh boy. So what do I do now?
No
No matter how you come into a lump sum of money, Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management is committed to helping you manage it wisely. They're independent, so you're not limited to one Wall Street company's investment products. Their advisors work as a team, sharing expertise to develop strategies. And Thiessen-Duker uses comprehensive financial planning technology designed to analyze those strategies, including tax implications. When it's time to get that kind of different working for you, simply visit Thiessen-Duker.com. Then give them a call.
The advisors of Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
I know how important some of this equipment for the farmers is. Without it, they can't get the job done.
That's Bob Aguirre, service manager at Pioneer Equipment Company.
My philosophy is get the tractor in and get it out as fast as I can. It's not supposed to be in the shop. It's supposed to be out in the field working.
Pioneer provides quality service for Kubota, Land Pride, and Nelson Equipment. Stop by and say hi at our Fresno or Reedley locations, and we'll get your equipment serviced right away.
This is a family-oriented business. It's been great working for Pioneer Equipment.
Visit PioneerEquipmentCA.com.
Sports fans of the Central Valley, are you ready to step up your game day grilling? Step into the Butcher Boss and discover winning flavors the champions crave. Ask about their 5 for $35 deal, where you can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
With all the insiders that have the pulse when it comes to prep sports in the Central Valley. Central Valley Sports Report, airing 10 a.m. to noon. Live from First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Welcome to A+ Signs.
Thanks. Yeah, I need some custom exterior signs for my business.
Great. What's the name of your business?
C+ Signs.
Wait, you own a sign company?
Yep, C+ Signs.
And you want us, A+ Signs, to make your signs?
Yeah, I need them really fast, and we can't touch our turnaround times.
We are kind of known for that.
For signs that stop traffic, drive traffic, and even direct traffic, call A+ Signs.
Remember, A+ has great technicians to service and repair signs, too.
Yeah, we got a guy, but he's afraid of ladders.
Sports fans, whether you're gearing up for your next adventure or simply searching for the perfect ride, Ed Dina's Auto Center has you covered. Now, let's hear from the 2018 Mountain West champion, Marcus McMarion.
Hey, it's Marcus McMarion. At Ed Dina's Auto Center, they'll make car shopping as smooth as a game-winning play. Whether it's a truck, SUV, or the car of your dreams, their incredible team is here to guide you every step of the way. Ed Dina's Auto Center in Dinuba and now in Visalia off Mooney Boulevard. Online at eddinasautocenter.com.
From breezy linen to performance polos, the Patrick James Summer Collection defines cool, effortless style. It's where classic West Coast spirit meets modern refinement. Discover timeless looks from brands like Faraday, Johnny O, Martin Dingman, alongside staples from Tommy Bahama, Robert Graham, and our signature Patrick James line. Made for the man who values quality, confidence, and the art of dressing well. Patrick James, California's sophistication. On Shaw, inside Fresno's Fig Garden Village.
Summer is here, and the hottest deals are at Valley Pure. For premium indoor house flower to tasty edibles, smooth vapes, must-have concentrates, and refreshing cannabis drinks, we've got everything you love at prices that keep you coming back for more. Stock up for your summer fun with unbeatable discounts across all Valley Pure locations. Whether you're looking to relax, celebrate, or spark up some good vibes in the sun, Valley Pure has the deals to keep the season rolling with easy online ordering and curbside pickup right from the app.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Baseball season is in full swing in downtown Fresno. Don't miss a second of the fun and excitement at Chuck Chansey Park with countless promotions, ticket deals, and more. Cheer on your Fresno Grizzlies as they battle it out with the rest of the California League now through the beginning of September. Tickets start at just $8, and with the $3 value menu on select ballpark classics, Grizzly baseball is truly affordable family fun. Grab your seats at FresnoGrizzlies.com or the Chuck Chansey Park ticket office. Grizzlies baseball, it happens here.
From breezy linen to performance polos, the Patrick James Summer Collection defines cool, effortless style. It's where classic West Coast spirit meets modern refinement. Discover timeless looks from brands like Faraday, Johnny O, Martin Dingman, alongside staples from Tommy Bahama, Robert Graham, and our signature Patrick James line.
I gotta find
Made
out
for the man who values
if I'm
quality,
approved to
confidence,
go to
and
the A's
art of
affiliate day.
dressing well. Patrick James, California's sophistication. On Shaw, inside Fresno's Fig Garden Village.
See some A's players? The Tigers are.
You're listening to the home of the San Francisco Giants, KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
One of the NFL preseason getting going. Big loss for the Chargers already. LA's all-pro left tackle Rashawn Slater going down at practice today suffered a season-ending ruptured patella tendon. Will be placed on injured reserve, ending his season before it started. Slater became the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history last week for average annual value on a 4-year, $113 million contract with $92 million fully guaranteed. It only missed 2 games over the last 2 seasons. Chargers likely to move right tackle Joe Alt to left tackle for this season. Elsewhere, Steelers all-pro defensive tackle Cam Hayward not fully participating in practice as he looks for a new contract. Set to make $14.75 million this season, would rank 18th among NFL defensive tackles. Over 13 already of that contract paid out as a roster bonus back in March. Two sides have had conversations but not made any progress on a rework deal. Hayward had 8 sacks and 12 tackles for loss last year. All-Pro kicker Chris Boswell also looking for a new deal. Has not participated in practice fully. Boswell 41 for 44 on field goals last season. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford expected to go through a workout this weekend and return to practice on Monday. Has not practiced yet during camp, dealing with an aggravated disc in his back. In baseball, a couple of games going. Mariners looking for the sweep over the White Sox today, tied at 2 in the ninth. Randy Arozarena with a 2-run shot, the scoring for Seattle.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, what are our boldest predictions heading into this college football season? Will Arch Manning live up to the hype? We'll talk about it on Sportsman Live, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Northwest trip. It was the 1-0 win over the Brewers. And I've seen that's the World Series. It might be.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right, Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Hour number 2 of our show here at Fashion Furniture. Very happy to be here. Very excited to be here for another hour of our show. We're here till 6 o'clock. And that's right, I'm sure you all are sitting here and you're thinking the same exact thing. Why the heck is there a guy walking around a goat trying to break into restaurants here in Fresno? Only Fresno things that we've seen so far. Jorge Tanvir, you seen this story? I just showed it to you, Tanvir. So I don't know if you've read up more on it. Jorge, your thoughts on the guy with the goat? And apparently he's wanted at large right now. The man who was carrying a goat on a leash, breaking into restaurants in West Central Fresno. Just very Fresno things for us right now.
Yeah, it's a black and white goat, small size. Quite frankly, he went in there, broke into the place, went in there. I think he grabbed a 2-liter of soda,
That's
and
it? Right?
yeah, that's it, and came out with it. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but definitely Fresno thing.
Do we know what soda he stole? Do we know what kind of soda he did steal?
This will definitely affect what my thought is.
I believe it was a Pepsi.
Because if it's Pepsi, then I believe this is one of the greatest Pepsi commercials of all time.
Yeah.
Because even a man who was walking his goat in the middle of the night in West Central Fresno needed his refreshment so badly he would break a window to get into an establishment just so he could have a Pepsi. Mm-hmm. So Pepsi marketing, I'll take my cut, and you're welcome for the advertising there. So, anyways, guy with goat still at large.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's much you could take from those places at that time because they clean everything up. There's no food available. Everything's closed up.
Oh, of course not.
There's no money available because everything's taken out. I think the only thing available was probably the sodas, and that's what he went for.
Well, I mean, yes, to steal soda. You think it was just a matter of that was the only convenient thing he could actually take? Like, once he broke down the window, then he was like, wow, I don't have as many options as I thought here. And so he decides to just give it up and go with the soda, which is the only thing that was available to him and convenient to him in any form.
So the media shows him walking around a couple times, then coming back without the goat.
Oh, he
breaking
staked
the
out
window.
the place.
It looked like it, breaking the window, and then he leaves with the goat.
Was the goat an accomplice?
The goat an accomplice. Do you think the goat was talking to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He was talking to the goat for sure.
You ever see that movie, The Men Who Talk to Goats? Or
No.
Such a weird movie.
Yeah,
George Clooney movie.
Yeah, George Clooney with the It was pretty.
I have a friend who low key really loves that movie. And it's just one of the strangest movies I've ever seen.
I like that movie. I'm not gonna lie. I like.
You like that movie?
Yeah.
Is that what Jorge? Is that what they do in the Army? They just stare at goats? Is that what they do?
Stare at goats. I mean, stare at goats. Kind of. I mean,
That's just
I'm
kinda
not
what
gonna
you
I'm not gonna
said.
say stuff that I'm not supposed to say, but yeah.
it's just a commentary on how mind-numbingly boring the Army can get sometimes. Sometimes that's what you do. Or I'm kidding. We don't need to get into it more.
Well, let's see. We used to say our thing was hurry up and wait. So,
Oh, I love hurry up and wait. I use hurry up and wait all the time. That describes my life in TV journalism for what I've done in the last 8 years. Was just hurry up and wait. It was just get to the story and then wait till officials tell you what you want to hear, which is usually nothing. So, gotta love it. All right. By the way, Man with Goat still at large. We'll see if we can find out what happens there. We'll need a follow up on that story at some point. So I just fascinated by it. Fresno things, people. Fresno things. We are live here at Fashion Furniture for this edition of the show, as we always are on this Thursday. By the way, just to let you know, this is their 65th anniversary celebration at Fashion Furniture. Well, you find the best names like Flex Steel, Bassett, Michael Nicholas, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more. And you get in savings of up to 40% on select items with 0% financing. Plus, with every sale, Fashion Furniture is going to make a donation to the Honor Flight. That's right. Help celebrate 65 years and help a veteran to Washington. I believe they're going to, every $25 or every purchase, they're going to take $25 from that sale and donate it to the Honor Flight. So anything you purchase here, $25 of that will go to the Honor Flight. So special gifts, keep in mind, 65 years anniversary. Special gifts to couples married 25, 35, 45, 55, and special gifts for of those married up to 65 years of marriage. Congrats to those who are celebrating those milestones. Only here at Fashion Furniture. They're doing it here. Nothing like it in all of California. Okay. We have some football underway here officially. I believe some preseason games are kicking off, if not have already kicked off here. On the docket is 4 o'clock. I believe I can pull up a game on NFL Network right now if I do it. Colts and Ravens. That was one of your games, Tim Veer, you were excited to watch today. But the one we'll be paying attention to, which I'm going to be completely frank, I'm going to be watching it tomorrow morning when I get in the office because I'm not going to be pulling up Raiders and Seahawks on my phone while I'm at Shakira. It's just quite simply logistically not going to happen for me.
I don't think you'll be able to, for sure.
Oh, it might be a cell phone pit hole of sadness of trying to text anybody when it comes to it. But nothing speaks my love of football like me watching Cooper Rush just take the field right now for the Baltimore Ravens in an attempt to watch any sort of semblance of competent football here right at the top of this thing. So, but let's go into what we have here for this Raiders game tonight, which starts at 7 o'clock. Raiders and Seahawks. It is the 20th meeting between these two teams in the preseason. If you're keeping track, the Seahawks lead that series 13-6. If you're keeping track, and the last time we faced them, the Raiders have in 2021. Should be an interesting matchup. Although, according to the Seahawks coach Mike Macdonald, not a lot of starters, if not any starters, are going to go tonight. Nothing like that for them. It appears, though, Pete Carroll's more in the mindset of everybody's live, everybody's ready to go. So we will get a little bit of Geno Smith tonight, I would say, a little bit of looking at the ones and what that first drive will look like and what that first team defense will look like, at least for a drive or two, depending on where that first quarter goes. I think for the Raider fans, this is very exciting to see what that'll look like. I got to imagine that anytime you get the one, there's a little bit of a anxiety, anticipation because you just want it to go well, especially when you're facing the twos. And I know panic will set in if things don't happen tonight for the Raiders in a specific way.
Right.
What do you look for in this preseason game tonight for the Raiders? As it seems like we're going to see the first team for a series or two.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, how are they going to implement this running game, and how is Chip Kelly going to really put this offensive system into effect? Right, like Ashton Jeanty, we've already stated enough times, is one of the greatest running back prospects to come out of college in the last couple of years. And if he does go tonight, Ashton, that is, I am very interested to see what type of schemes and run types that we see out of him. Because at Ohio State, Chip Kelly was very good with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. And obviously you're not going to have a second guy. Obviously you have Raheem Mostert on the roster, but I think you're going to probably see Ashton getting a lot of touches. But seeing Geno behind this offensive line is another thing that I'm looking forward to. Like, Seattle was a situation where I think Geno was very good in the situations where he had the blocking, and he was able to roll out, use that play action off of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet to get the ball down the field. But when you got the pressure, I remember a specific game that the 49ers had against the Seahawks on Thanksgiving 2 years ago, I believe, and that defensive line absolutely destroyed the Seattle Seahawks offensive line. And I haven't really seen that many improvements. I know that they just got Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State, who I think is a very good prospect. They're probably going to slot him in at guard, but the tackles is where I think they really have an issue, and where I think I'm going to need to see some consistency because I think the interior is actually pretty good.
In terms of just returning to Seattle, I wonder if that's going to cause any sort of emotion to it in the sense, and are you going to get normal reps because everybody's going to be excited to be back in Seattle? Pete Carroll's return to Seattle where he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Geno Smith, I think a lot of Seattle fans feel like he is – I think there's a lot of warm feelings for what Geno Smith did over the last few years for the Seahawks team, even if it did fall a little short of expectations from a year ago in terms of making the playoffs. But I think they'll set that aside for a down, and then it'll move forward to what we're looking for as far as that's concerned with this team. I think there's some question marks in terms of the depth of offensive weapons, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I know Brock Bowers is the primary asset of this offense, and with Ashton Genty and what that'll look like. But I'm curious to see what's behind it as far as that's concerned with the wide receiver core and what it brings in. I think there's some good names, but certainly not names that are household to the Raider fans in terms of guys who are going to be making plays when it comes to it. They just traded for a D tackle from the Eagles. I don't think he's going to get a look tonight for this, but obviously shoring up what they're going to lose in Christian Wilkins, who is certainly a big part of the plans moving forward. Suddenly I want to know what that interior of that D-line looks like, because there's a difference between what Max Crosby can provide on the edge as opposed to where you can do the run stopping per se, because as good as Crosby's good on the edge, that doesn't really benefit you when teams are running 4 or 5 yards per carry on you.
Power runs,
yeah, exactly. And Seahawks are going to be probably a team that's going to lean on that a little bit more as a scheme. And so the Raiders are going to see a lot of that could be their kryptonite moving forward. Raiders are going to be a great when they're facing an offense that's behind the downs and distance. But when the team is on schedule, I fear that the Raiders are going to have a tough time getting off the field. I need to see what they're doing in those normal down situations and if they can turn the tide a little bit when it comes to that. Linebackers are going to be key in that scheme as well. Obviously, secondary, I never really feel good about a Raider secondary ever in my life when it comes to it.
They just lost Jacorian Bennett, who I think was a pretty underrated prospect as well.
So there's a lot to this team that has a lot of question marks. And yet, I think this Raider team, you just simply asked the question from what the issues were last year is like, can I just get a competent offense? Can I just get one of those? And I think the Raiders are sitting there at 9-8 as opposed to 4-13 last year, or whatever it was. So I think tonight, I don't know what indicator it'll show you, but at least we're getting the ones. At least they're getting the reps. Pete Carroll's holding everybody accountable tonight. I think there's going to be a message sent that, hey, everybody needs to work and everybody needs to make things happen on this football field tonight. Nobody's got a free, easy ride to this just because of your past accolades and what you've done. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think there's going to be an attention to detail that I haven't seen from this Raiders squad as well. I think the Raiders have been, the last couple of years, one of the sloppiest teams in terms of that. I'm curious to see what kind of emphasis on penalties is going to be tonight in terms of what the Raiders are going to look like in this game. Are there going to be silly mistakes? Are there going to be panic plays as far as like one-on-one plays down the sideline? I'll point to a play I literally just saw in this Baltimore game where it was a one-on-one ball and the wide receiver panicked, pulled down the defender. It ended up being an interception anyway. So just saw that happen in this Baltimore and Indianapolis game. So those kinds of situations, can you be disciplined in those situations? Can you avoid hands to the face situations in terms of that? Those are such killers when it comes to being a football team. So fundamentals tonight, more than anything. I think performance will come with it in the week 2 or 3 of the preseason, but I want to see where the fundamental emphasis is on this Raider side.
Yeah, they were really hampered down by penalties last year, right?
Yeah.
And if you are going to run the ball a lot, you're going to have an offensive line that is, they don't commit that many penalties, and that's definitely something that I am also looking forward to. What is the discipline of these guys that are hopefully, obviously, the first team offensive line does start for this game, and I want to see if they do stay disciplined compared to what they were last year. I think going into this season, I was a little bit more and Ja'Cory Bennett gets traded. I'm not saying it's all falling down for the Raiders, but I feel like after these last 2 weeks, I'm a little bit more down on Las Vegas than I was a little bit earlier. I'm not going to say dark horse for any big championships or anything, but I was thinking that we could see a positive season out of Las Vegas. And I think this preseason game especially is going to have to show me a spark from the offensive side of the ball opposed to that defensive side, because I don't know what fixes there really are around the NFL to kind of fix this defense. I think it's just like more or less how the Bengals are doing it, where they have a great offense, but their defense is terrible.
And maybe you can scheme yourself into at least being an average defense, because you can scheme yourself to that point, putting you guys in good positions.
So,
but nothing's going to overcome talent in terms of that. And by the way, what they face in their division, there's some legit talent on the offensive side, especially with Kansas City and with what I would say Denver's got a plus offense, in my opinion.
Chargers too, man.
Chargers, they just lost one of their starting linemen, Slater, to the rest of the season. That just broke today. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. But it's hard for me to see where the Raiders can fit in that division because it is so top-heavy in terms of that. But anyways, Raiders-Seahawks coming up tonight. That's at 7 o'clock if you're going to be watching. We do not air the preseason games, but we will be airing the regular season later when we get to it, when the Raiders open in New England for Week 1. Can't wait for that one in Week 1, me personally especially. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, we interview with the Fresno State volleyball coach, Lisa Rosen, is going to join me next here on 1430 ESPN Fresno Valley's local sports leader.
Get your day started with Rich Eisen.
You can't tell the story of baseball without what Aaron Judge has been doing.
I'm going to introduce this one, Jorge.
Done over the last 3 to 4 years, for sure.
So come to me first.
Tears we've ever seen by a right-handed hitter. Period. End of story. He is the king of being intentionally walked. He is the ultimate guy that you don't want to have beat you. He's been that way pretty much since he came up from out of nowhere. He's absolutely a Hall of Famer if he doesn't play another game.
Rich Eisen, brought to you by Citizens Business Bank.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Prices on steel and materials are up everywhere, but you can still get unbeatable value for your residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects at Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno. They'll match or beat any competitor's price by at least 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. Ready when you are. Massive inventory? Yes. Same-day delivery? Yes. 24/7 service? Yes. Get your free quote today. Call or swing by Pacific Steel Supply, Ashland and Parkway in Fresno off Highway 99, or visit PacificSteelSupply.com.
No matter the time, morning, noon, or night, Black Bear Diner in Fresno has you covered. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner served all day just the way you like it. At Black Bear Diner in Fresno, you can count on them serving up hearty portions that satisfy even the hungriest appetites. Plus, the little Cubs can enjoy their brand new Cubs Corner too. So gather your family and friends, bring your appetite, and make it a meal to remember at Black Bear Diner in Fresno, corner of Sean Martin. Black Bear Diner.
Need cash? If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Clausen Honda wants to buy your car. If it's running, we want your late model Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, Acura, or Honda. Just call Clausen and ask for our VUP to schedule your appraisal appointment. In just 10 minutes, you'll get your cash value quote. Yes, we are eliminating the hassle of getting rid of your used old car. So if you're ready to sell, we are ready to buy. Call Clausen Honda of Fresno today. If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Get cash for your car. Clausen Honda.
This summer, KFC and F1 the movie are putting the pedal to the metal. Your favorite fill-ups are back. Only $7. Choose from crispy chicken, tasty tenders, or our classic famous bowl. Each with a drink, sides, and even sweet pie poppers. Need more fuel? Every Tuesday, grab 8 pieces of KFC's dark meat fried chicken or original recipe tenders for just $10. And don't forget to cool off with our new peaches and cream sweet lightning soda. Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. KFC, your summer pit stop for the flavor.
Roger Dunn has the new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Drivers to take your game to the next level. State-of-the-art technology. They've created the most advanced driver face in the history of Callaway Golf. The AI Smart Face is designed to create a sweet spot, and not just the center, but all over the face. AI Smoke Drivers, fairway irons, and putters. The AI Smoke Driver, it's sweeter from every spot. Paradigm AI Smoke Drivers. Remember, you're always number one at Roger Dunn.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
I just got a ticket notification that the concert just got delayed to 8:30 tonight. But honestly, I'm okay with it because it's going to be cooler. It's going to be cooler.
Yeah, I think it's because of the heat, because it hit over 100.
Yeah. So it hit over 100, so they're delaying it by an hour. No big deal. Everyone's going to – you're not going to care by the time Shakira's doing what she's doing. So you're not going to care. Okay. I'm excited about sports other than football at Fresno State. Fresno State volleyball is in a very good space. Won the Mountain West a couple years ago. Very good team last year as well. And Lisa Rosen's been a big part of that, taking over the program a couple years ago. So I'm excited about what this season looks like. And they've got a scrimmage coming up in a couple weeks, a little under a couple weeks from now. I got a chance to chat with Lisa Rosen, the Fresno State volleyball coach, earlier this week. This is the first time you're hearing this interview on our show. And so without further ado, here's my conversation with Lisa Rosen of Fresno State volleyball.
All right, in studio here with Lisa Rosen, who is with Fresno State, the Fresno State volleyball coach, head coach for the program there, and excited to have you in studio for the first time with me, and excited to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're doing great. We're in the meat of preseason right now, and a little bit tired, but also really fired up to be starting.
Yeah, preseason excitement, getting the players back, getting everything off and running again, with especially with a program that has a lot of momentum, from what we've seen. What is that day like when you first come back and see the players and getting ready for the season at large?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting, especially this year. Like you mentioned, we have a lot of new faces in the gym. We have 16 players, and 8 of them are new. So about half of our team is new to college volleyball and to that are just young players. And I think it's just fun to see them come in the gym and start to get acclimated to our standards and what we expect. It's also really exciting to see upperclassmen transition, from being that underclassmen, and now they're juniors and seniors. And so they're kind of, showing the way for the younger players on how to do things and starting to take ownership. And it's really exciting.
What is that like for you as a coach who has those kind of new faces, overturn in a sense, and getting players acclimated to the speed of college volleyball? What is that like for you as a coach getting ready for a season like this?
Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest things that we get to do. I think we're not pro sports, and so we don't keep players for an undetermined amount of time. We have 4 years with a player, for the most part, 4 or 5 years. And I think just to see the progression of them come in as freshmen and then, continue to mature and get stronger and get, just more acclimated to being an adult and taking care of themselves. I think that's that's one of the biggest joys that I have as a coach, is just watching them mature from freshman to senior.
Absolutely. The exciting times, right, with this volleyball program, with the way that it's performed. Obviously, coming off of the first year with the Mountain West Championship, last year winning season as well, very successful. The possibilities with this team, I know the interest is peaking with this volleyball team because of the way things have gone over the last few years. Have you felt that from the people who have been watching you guys for the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think people are getting more and more excited about it. Last year, the first 2 years here, it wasn't really a huge priority for me to be out in the community, because I wanted to make sure that we had a team that people wanted to watch and to cheer on. And I think that we definitely accomplished that the first year. I think that we continued to gain that momentum. We were great in 24 in Save Mart Center, and now this year we're hoping to continue with that. I think that we have a very strong group. It'll be a young group, but I think that we will grow and mature, and I think by the end of the year we will be contending for a championship.
Yeah, certainly the taste of that for sure. You mentioned the home court side of things and the value of that. You feel it there with the folks there. I feel like volleyball is such a, there's a tactical driven part of the sport, but there's an emotion, momentum part of the sport. How do you see that affecting the game when you feel like that, when you feel that momentum shifting in the building like that, especially when you're seeing people paying attention to the team?
Yeah, I think there's nothing more exciting, nothing more rewarding for our team, especially our players, to, they're putting in hard work right now. And then to have people within the community that are cheering for them, that are passionate about them, getting to know them as people, and then also cheering them on as athletes. Like, I think that there's nothing better than feeling that, kind of feeling the love or the passion from the community. And I think that that's great.
And I ask this, in interest of, like, when you work with players and you're working with them on how to continue to do what they're doing at a consistent basis, how much of that is working in the mental side versus the physical side, and making sure they're doing the right things on the court and what you're wanting out of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, I mean, obviously, they need to be strong. They need to be physical. I think that the one thing that we're really trying to get across to the girls on a continual basis is we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for great plays, but we're never looking for perfect plays. And I think that that's in this day and age, I think that perfection is, that's not attainable. I think that, but greatness is, and that's what we're continually trying to strive for, is to be a great team.
For you mentioned obviously a lot of new faces. Let's talk about some of the returners, right? Who's the big couple of names that people are excited, or you're excited to have back for you, and what kind of players they are on the volleyball court?
Yeah, I think that Addison Haluska, she has been a starter for us since we walked into the gym. I think that she is legitimately, a player of the year type candidate for our conference. I think her connection with her teammates, I'm wildly impressed with, she's our only senior, and I'm wildly impressed with how she is connecting with all of the players, not just with the upperclassmen. But at the same time, she's like actually genuinely connecting with them, not trying to take care of them or anything like that. There's some of that, but she's being a phenomenal teammate. Physically, she's incredibly gifted, and she works really, really hard. Jenna Legault, I think that she's another one that's going to kind of have a breakout year. She's a redshirt junior. Very, very fun to watch play. I think that her game is continually going to the next level. She was primarily just a front row player for us last year, a lot of offense. This year, I think that will expand. So I'm excited about that. I think we have some other, we have a lot of positions that were that graduated, and so we're really looking for, kids to step into those positions. I think the competition level in our gym, we have the most depth in our gym that we've ever had since I've been here that we've had.
Yeah.
And that's great because it creates competition in practice, which then helps with competition in matches.
For sure. The two players you mentioned coming in, with they get the captaincy, right? You name them captain. It's interesting, right? Because for a lot of people who may not really follow volleyball, you look at the setter position as maybe the most important position on the court. Although everybody has their role, these players, sometimes you're still trying to find the setter role in that sense. What are you working out with that setter position that you're still trying to? I see you have a couple of redshirt freshmen coming in on this side of things, and that's going to be an interesting battle to watch in camp, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. I think that both Gabby Lombardi, she's a redshirt freshman, and then Keely Hummel, she's a sophomore. They are both doing a really nice job in the gym right now. We've only been in the gym for 2 days, so they're kind of figuring out how to run their offense and stuff like that. I think that will be a very interesting competition. I think that, again, I think all of our positions are very deep. And I do think that, the setter position's kind of equivalent to a point guard or a quarterback where they're running, they run it. They run the offense. And I'm excited to see both of them get the opportunity, and then obviously whoever wins that out. I'm not sure it'll be just one. I think that I think that with the youth that they have, I think that it'll be a combination of both of them. And certainly we are very appreciative of the competition that's going on.
What do you look for out of your setter? Like when you look for someone who you can rely on to be in that position, what do you look for?
Well, I think they have to be a good athlete. I think so many times they were dubbed as the shortest, or they couldn't hit, and I disagree with that, because I think that they're very athletic, and I think we have two good athletes in that position. I think that from a mindset standpoint, I think they need to be very stable and very calm. But at the same time, they need to be very fiery, and I think they need to definitely be kind of a servant leader. They're very rarely ever the one that ends the point, but they're the ones that always make the decisions. And so I think that they need to have connections with their teammates, as everybody does. But I think that, they need to have a special connection with teammates. And, from a passer to a setter, and then a setter to a hitter, it's a really important connection.
And then obviously you kind of have to figure out who has the chemistry with the rotations and where they set up, right? Who's in the front row for what setter you're more comfortable with? Yep. Who's in the back row if you're wanting to be more willing to have that kind of back row attack optionality there. It's a lot to weigh, and obviously I'm assuming this is what this time period is like, who can I put that feels like this rotation works better for me? How much of that do you tinker around with as a coach?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before we have a starting lineup set, because, again, I think we do have so many new positions to fill. I think we have a lot of competition in the gym and a lot of depth in the gym. So I think for us to say that we're going to have a starting lineup set by the first time we compete, I don't know if that's necessarily realistic, which is great, because that means that the deeper into the season we go, when there starts to be, just wear and tear on the body, or God forbid, we get an injury, we will have people that have had game experience that will be able to step into, a spot. Obviously, we're going to work towards getting a starting lineup, and we will. But I don't know how. I'm not in a rush to get that established. I think by the time we start conference, we'll probably be pretty settled. But that means that we have 4 weeks of preseason to, kind of work with different combinations to find out what's working best.
Yeah, especially when you have these opportunities with these tournaments, these invitationals that you have. You see a lot of different volleyball from around the country that comes in, like when you're going to be in Tucson, right, and when you're going to be in Irvine, when you're going to be in Sacramento. Those opportunities, you kind of throw what you want to see out there and see how they respond, per se, as a coach, I imagine, right? And seeing how they react.
Yeah, I think that, obviously winning is the ultimate goal. That's why we all got into athletics. That we're not, this is not participation trophies. Like, we want to win. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not overlooking possibilities or combinations that could be great for us. And so, yeah, I think that the preseason, we have a very manageable preseason this year. I'm excited about the opportunities for us to go to U of A and to compete and see, we open up right away with, a Pac-12 or a Big 12 team, and so we'll see, how do we fare with that? And then the next weekend we have another Big 12 team with Colorado. So we've got some teams in there that are going to challenge us, and I'm excited to see how we respond to that.
I'm always curious, because obviously this is such a transitional period for Fresno State in a its whole as an athletic program, and now going into this final year with the Mountain West and going into a transitional period of where the caliber is, the Pac-12 and what that means. Do you think about that as a coach when you're forming what you're pushing towards, obviously, which you have? I'm sure you have 3-year plan, 5-year plan, what you're doing. How much do you think about this transitional period and what Fresno State's going through as an athletic department?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. I think we think about it a lot. At the same time, one of my favorite quotes is "Be where your feet are." So we want to make sure that we want to be here, and we're right now this year in 25 we're competing for a conference championship. But I do think that from a recruiting standpoint, we're out looking at kids, and we've already got a 26 class signed or committed. We've got a 27 class committed, and I think that they're all kids that are going to elevate the physicality and the level of play in our gym. And it's not because our level's bad. It just we're getting better and better kids, recruits in our gym because we're a better program.
Mm-hmm, certainly. It's an exciting time, obviously, for this group. I go back and I mentioned that 2023 championship. I remember I was out in the middle of the country watching that thing on the streaming. I do have to ask a couple questions just about that run. How magical was that for you to be in the moment? I know obviously in the moment you were coaching the games and everything like that, but did you ever have a thought like, wow, I can't believe we were doing this and this is exciting for what it could mean moving forward?
Yeah, to be honest with you, no. We tried it was just, one win, like check mark. Okay, we beat Boise State, check, and then we beat Utah State, and that was a check mark. And then, when we beat Colorado State, obviously that was for the championship. I think all of us on my staff were experienced enough to be like, okay, this is a big enough moment for the team. We need to make sure that we're managing it. And I think we did. And obviously there was lots of emotions after each one of the wins, but then obviously after the Colorado State, there was a lot of emotions that went into it from everybody, coaches and players and everybody. I was just really, really proud of how just everybody came together and had one goal. It was one team and one goal. And that was pretty magical.
Do you lean in that experience and like, this is what we did this weekend, like what I tried to do from that standpoint, and I compartmentalize what we did that weekend to what I can do moving forward and prep for these postseason tournaments? Is that something you think about, or is it every year is a different thing? I got to prep for it differently. How do you go about that, knowing you had success in that first year?
I think the biggest thing is the standard in the gym is the standard of excellence in the gym is raising. We didn't really have a lot of expectations in 23. Our goal was to get better every single match. And that was, it was a very simple goal, but that was our goal. Last year we dealt with, in 24, we dealt with a lot of expectations that were placed on us from ourselves, from outside, that I don't know if we were ready to handle it. I still think that we had a really, really good year. But, obviously we didn't come away with the ultimate goal. I think this year with everybody being so new and just new roles for upperclassmen, new roles for obviously for freshmen, new roles. So I think it's just like, it's kind of a blank slate. But at the same time, we're not starting over from an expectation standpoint. Like our expectation is when we walk into a gym, we're going to compete and ultimately we want the win. But I think that's where we've gotten to now, is that we can walk in a gym and we can, have a little bit of swagger and have a little bit of, hey, we're here. Let's go.
Absolutely. You've been around the sport for a while, obviously, and I'm curious what your bird's eye view of the sport is right now in 2025, how it's evolved, how it's looked, what things have changed. Have you taken time to think about that and how the sport has evolved over the last few years?
Yeah, I think that the evolution of volleyball in general it's much more physical. It's much more powerful. I think it's a very fun game to watch. I think most of the time, if we can get someone into Save Mart Center to watch us play, we've got them hooked because, we're a very physical team. I think that we play the game very well. So I think that from a just a pure athletic standpoint, it's bigger, it's stronger, it's faster, it's more dynamic. So I think that I'm really excited to be a part of that. Obviously, the popularity of it and the desire for people to come and watch it's at an all-time high, you know. And I think that obviously is starting with the top programs, bringing in, you know, huge record-setting crowds every year. We've set records for the last 2 years in attendance with just different matches. And so I think that certainly is trickling down to every single level. And that's where I hope that we can get the red wave out and to really grab momentum. I'm not trying to steal fans or enthusiasm from football. I'm trying to, I want to join on that. You don't have to choose whether to go to a football game or a volleyball game. You can do both, because I don't want to, I think that the tailgating atmosphere with football is great. I just want to be a part of that.
I just think about the Nebraska thing I saw in the football stadium, and maybe the ultimate goal is, playing an outdoor match at Bulldog Stadium in some form or fashion. If that's the ultimate goal, I can only imagine the possibilities there. Something like that would be fascinating.
Yeah, and I think with, obviously with Save Mart, the capacity it's a pretty large arena, and so
drop down the curtain, let's get it all.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to, continue to bring in more and more fans that are there to support us and to just watch us be successful. And I think that creates a great atmosphere too, and that helps with recruiting. And so it's all a very symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely. So I guess my understanding, red versus blue scrimmage, is that a scrimmage people can have an opportunity to go watch you guys play? That's going to be on August 19th, 3 p.m. So I want to tell people what they can expect at the red,
absolutely.
Red versus blue.
That'll be the first kind of look at the 25 program. It'll be an inter-squad scrimmage, but we're going to, it'll be the first time that people will see this group in uniform being able to compete. We're trying to, it's Volley in the Valley. And so we'd love to, I think it's the day before class starts for Fresno State. So we're hoping to grab some students. We're hoping to get people in the volleyball community in Fresno, Clovis, just all of those areas to come out and watch. But I think it'll be a really good opportunity for people just to see for the first time what the 25 team is going to look like.
And I imagine, I think I remember last year, they get the opportunity to watch them play, but also get the opportunity to see them after and do a little meet and greet kind of thing too, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely be signing autographs, and it'll just be, get pictures taken and all of that. So again, it'll be a great opportunity for anybody and everybody to see the team for the first time.
And of course, my understanding, first home game will be the Bulldog Invitational September 12th. So just a little over a month from that, but it's not too far down the road when you take on Santa Clara. So
yeah, that's we have Santa Clara coming in, and then we also have I believe on Sunday we have Northridge. Yeah. So those are our two home matches during the preseason, and then I believe we open up conference at home as well.
San Diego State, September 25th on a Thursday night. So, nothing better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting the Aztecs in the town. I really, great enlightening conversation, Lisa. I really appreciate it. I wish we had more time. Just one last thing. What can people expect from the Bulldogs this season?
I think if you come and watch us play, I think that you will be entertained. I think you'll be impressed with how physical we are. I think that we have the ability to be to control the ball. I think that we'll compete. I think that that's very important to me, to my philosophy, and to the team, is that we're going to compete. Whether we win or lose, obviously we can't necessarily control that, but we want to compete at the highest level possible for where we're at. And I think that if we control those things, we're physical, we control the ball, and we control the competition, then I think we'll be pretty fun to watch.
Well, we can't wait, Lisa. I appreciate you taking the time as always, and best of luck on the year. And we hope to have you back here at some point.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Lisa Rosen of Fresno State Volleyball here on 1430 ESPN. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on Behind the Bench on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Tune in every weekday to the Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D, brought to you by Precision Civil Engineering. Be sure to listen at 2 p.m. to hear everything you need to know about Fresno State athletics. Don't miss out on the insight and conversations you need to stay up on the Bulldogs with insiders like Paul Leffler, Jackson Moore, and Ralph Wood. If it's 2 p.m., it's the Bulldog Hour with Tony D, each weekday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Whether you're planning a special event or simply craving something new, Lynn's Restaurant Group has a variety of dining options to suit any occasion. If you're in the mood for fine dining, Oiza offers a refined Japanese experience. Looking for something quick and delicious? Ramen Hayashi serves up satisfying bowls of ramen in no time. Craving variety? Lynn's Fusion has an endless all-you-can-eat experience with options for everyone. No matter the occasion, Lynn's Restaurant Group makes every meal memorable. Visit lynn'srestaurantgroup.com to learn more.
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at banyantreefresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
They say when you do one thing long enough, you get to be pretty good at it. Locally owned businesses led by multiple generations of family learn early on about the value of customer service. Of course, having great products, especially in the world of technology, is a clear advantage, but nothing is more important than making customers your number one priority. My suggestion for the right company for digital office technologies and services is CBM, California Business Machines. With offices in Fresno and Visalia, this top-tier Kyocera dealer has led the category, not only in technology, but with customer service. When you partner with CBM, you're aligning your business with a premier, nationally recognized company. Since 1953, CBM has been helping Valley businesses manage, change, streamline, and control their expenses. In fact, California Business Machines pioneered the 3-cent color copy, and I'm sure they'd love to tell you more. Call 225-5570 or check them out online at cbmsolution.com.
I make sure that we have plenty of parts for the service department and the customers in the front counter.
That's Al Carmona, parts manager at Pioneer Equipment Company.
A lot of farmers come in, they know what they want, and if they don't, we try to help as best as we can.
Pioneer carries a wide selection of Kubota, Land Pride, and Nelson parts. Stop by and see us in Fresno or Reedley. We'll get you a cup of coffee and the parts you need.
We have really good customers. Pioneer Equipment's a great place.
Visit pioneerequipmentca.com.
Mike Dermanuel Jr. of Hub International Insurance.
You've got to have a competitive benefits program to attract and retain employees. And as the cost of that continues to rise, we're becoming very innovative in how to finance those benefits for their employees.
Mike Dermanuel Jr. of Hub International. Learn more at hubinternational.com. License number 0757776.
If our clients succeed, we succeed.
As of today, the 30% federal solar tax credit is still available for homeowners looking to save energy.
The All-Star Game MVP in 22 was Giancarlo Stanton.
The time to call Donald P. Dick is now. 255-1644. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy.
Yeah.
The deadlines for installing solar and taking advantage of the tax credits are December 31st.
He went to the Yanks in like 18 or 17. Or no, 19.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit.
And you can go check out Fresno State Volleyball. I believe their scrimmage coming up in about a little bit over a week from now. Go check that out, the red and blue scrimmage for Fresno State Volleyball. Support all of our sports at Fresno State. Get it going there. Like some winners, Bulldogs, or some winning programs here. I want to get to the 50 States and 50 Days trivia, but I might save that for the close of the show because I do want to acknowledge Jorge, do you know what happened 18 years ago today? Do you know what happened 18 years ago today in Major League Baseball? Pretty major event happened 18 years ago today.
In baseball? 18 years ago?
In baseball history.
What year was it?
They were talking 2007. August 7th, 2007. You want to know what happened 18 years ago today?
Was it an All-Star game or?
No, All-Star game was in July. The answer you're looking for is the all-time home run record was broken.
Barry Bonds, yeah.
By Barry Bonds today, 18 years ago, and that just blows my mind that is 18 years ago.
Right.
I remember watching that game live. Jorge, were you huddled by the TV watching and waiting to see if Barry would break that record? Where were you 18 years ago today?
I might have been in Texas, living in Texas. So,
yeah.
I probably saw it on ESPN.
Well, I know ESPN. This is how feverish and crazy it was 18 years ago. And kids these days don't even know how crazy this was. ESPN, for about a week, when Barry got close to the record, when he tied the record, I think he tied the record in San Diego a couple of days before. I'm pretty sure that ESPN, for about a week, was broadcasting every Giants game. Like full-on broadcasting every Giants game on their network for about a week to broadcast and see if Barry would hit a home run. And you know how bad the Giants were in 2007?
I don't know
this
that
is
they
the last-place Giants team.
I don't know that they were broadcasting every game, but I'm pretty sure they were coming in every time he would come out a bat.
I remember full Giants games being broadcast on ESPN.
Okay.
Because of it. Yeah.
But I
think we didn't get them locally because they blacked it out for because you would go watch the Creek and Kite broadcast and watch the special local broadcast. So if you lived in the Bay Area, you weren't watching the ESPN cast. You were watching the Creek and Kite, I think at the time, Fox Sports Net Bay Area broadcast for a 71 and 91 Giants team. It was just going nowhere. But that is as much attention I've ever seen a baseball team get in any terms of the last 25 years that ESPN has had in paying attention to the television side. You don't get that any other time in Major League Baseball. And I'm even trying to recall when Judge was kind of approaching that American League homer record a couple years ago. I don't know if I even recall ESPN cutting into that when he was approaching whatever the 60-plus home runs he was at to break the record.
They
was
cut into
feverish.
it, yeah. No, I remember.
Though.
Yeah, I remember.
It was insane.
I remember.
Nobody could talk about anything else other than that at that time.
Yeah, I remember them cutting in because there was Sports Center, and then they would just cut into him batting. Most of the times he would get walked. Nobody wanted to be that guy. No pitcher wanted to be that guy, so that he just would get walked, and he would walk on until somebody decided that 18 years ago, go ahead and pitch to him, and he
Let me see if I can find the name of the pitcher. Let me see if I can find the name of the pitcher that threw to him. By the way, the Giants did end up losing that game.
Yeah, and I think it was like a Padres or
it was Washington. It was the Nationals.
The Nationals.
It was the Nationals 18 years ago today.
Were they the Nationals then?
They were the Washington Nationals in 2007. The pitcher of record that gave up the home run to Barry Bonds is Mike Bassick. Mike Bassick, who, let's see what we know about Mike Bassick. Do we know anything about Mike Bassick? Mike Bassick pitched to a career negative .5 WAR. He is a 10-13 record career, 5.46 ERA. But he is the most notable pitcher in terms of baseball history because he is the guy who, in his career, gave up the home run to Barry Bonds. So, I
do remember for like 3 games straight, he got walked every time. And, and everybody was like booing. I mean, they were losing. The Giants were losing those games anyways, but it was weird. It was such a weird time.
Do you want to know who the starting pitcher for the Giants was in that game? Can you take a guess? Former Cy Young winner in 2007. He didn't win in 2007, but he was a former Cy Young winner.
In 2007?
Yeah, pitching for the Giants in 2007. He didn't win in 2007, but he did win before 2007. You're looking for, ready for it? 3, 2, 1. Barry Zito was the starting of record for the Giants.
Was he already with the Giants?
Yeah, he was. He signed in 06, I believe, for the Giants in that big contract. So Barry Zito.
Yeah.
Want a trivia question? Barry Zito pitched for the Giants that night. Barry Bonds broke the record. So Barry and Barry. There you go.
That's right.
End of hour 2. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Behind the Bench right after this on 1430 ESPN.
Valley Sports Leader has you covered for the local angle with the Central Valley Sports Report hosted by Paul Meadors. Paul is back for year 5 and is ready to give you the insight and knowledge of everything you need to know when it comes to high school sports. From the coaches and player interviews to the game recaps week by week, as well as talking with all the insiders that have the pulse when it comes to prep sports in the Central Valley. Central Valley Sports Report, airing 10 a.m. to noon, live from First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Welcome to the 65th anniversary celebration at Fashion Furniture, where you'll find the best names like Flex Steel, Bassett, Michael Nicholas, Tempur-Pedic, Serta, and so much more. Savings up to 40% with 0% financing. And with every sale, Fashion Furniture will donate to Central Valley Honor Flight. Help us celebrate 65 years and help send a veteran to Washington.
The Fashion Furniture 65th anniversary celebration. There's nothing like it in all of California.
For over 60 years, we at DeBudo Defendus Insurance, a multi-generational and family-owned company, have proudly provided high-quality risk management and insurance solutions to local businesses. We stand on a tradition of solving insurance pain points in a wide range of industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, transportation, and many others. A partnership and personal touch is what you can expect from us at DeBudo Defendus Insurance. Visit DIBU.com and get the business insurance you need today.
License number 0E02096.
Hi, I'm Jim Schaefer with Helena Agri-Enterprises. At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays a crucial role in maximizing production. You can visit HelenaAgri.com to find your local Helena retailer and learn more about Helena's products and solutions. Summer temperatures and droughty conditions are rapidly approaching in the Central Valley, which isn't ideal for farming. These environmental stresses can impact yields significantly. So how do we fight against this? At Helena, we have a product called Megafol. Megafol contains a precision blend of plant extracts that improves crop vitality and helps defend against environmental stressors like heat and drought. So how does it work? Simply put, the plant extracts in Megafol upregulate genes that produce specific proteins in the crop. More of these proteins means the crop can function at a higher level under stress conditions and less energy is spent on recovery. At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays a crucial role in maximizing production. You can visit HelenaAgri.com to find your local Helena retailer and learn more about Helena's products and solutions.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Whether you're planning a special event or simply craving something new, Lynn's Restaurant Group has a variety of dining options to suit any occasion. If you're in the mood for fine dining, Oiza offers a refined Japanese experience. Looking for something quick and delicious? Ramen Hayashi serves up satisfying bowls of ramen in no time. Craving variety? Lynn's Fusion has an endless all-you-can-eat experience with options for everyone. No matter the occasion, Lynn's Restaurant Group makes every meal memorable. Visit Lynn's Restaurant Group.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Week 1 of the NFL preseason is here. Ravens and Colts in Baltimore. Former 4th overall pick Anthony Richardson starting for Indy as the Colts preseason quarterback battle begins. Richardson, suffering a finger injury after taking a sack, has been ruled out for the rest of the night. Daniel Jones taking over under center. Richardson dealt with a shoulder injury to begin camp. Started 2 of 3 for 21 yards. Tonight, Ravens lead at 14-6, 11:01 to go in the second. Daniel Jones 4 of 9 for 64 yards so far tonight. Elsewhere, Bills open the preseason on Saturday afternoon. Still searching for a resolution on running back James Cook's contract. MVP Josh Allen says Cook has his support.
There's no doubt that we all want him out there with us. I've got no say in what goes on behind closed doors, and I'm a big advocate of everybody getting theirs and getting paid, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that's kind of where it's at.
Cook, coming off a franchise record-tying 16 rushing touchdowns last season, has been holding in the last few days at Bills camp. Elsewhere, Chargers All-Pro left tackle Rashawn Slater going down at practice today suffered a season-ending ruptured patella tendon. Will be placed on injured reserve. Slater becoming the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history last week on a 4-year, $113 million contract with $92 million guaranteed.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Thursday, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, who separated themselves from the pack in the Colts quarterback race. Plus, we'll look ahead to Shedeur Sanders' first start for the Browns. That's Thursday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right, Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. One more hour to go. One more hour here as we take you up to 6 o'clock in the rest of your evening. I am sure you're getting in the car right now, and you are finding something to eat before you head off to Shakira tonight. That's right, Shakira is the big concert going on at Fresno State. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to head over there in about an hour or so I can't wait to see some people over there. Of course, I don't know. Did I update the people? I saw an announcement for Fresno State football. Shakira concert postponed by an hour. Postpone's the wrong word. Delayed by an hour. Delayed by an hour. I want to make sure I get the right people there. 8:30. I got a notification. 8:30. Shakira concert. They're not going to open the gates until 7 tonight. I got to imagine that's a heat-related situation because of it hitting this announcement coming as soon as the threshold of the threshold of temperature. We passed 100 degrees, and as soon as I saw we passed 100 degrees, that announcement came out. So just want to make sure people are well aware. And by the way, Fresno State officially tweeting this, sold out tonight. Sold out concert for Shakira. The Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour. I hope I made that. Jorge, how did I do?
You had it, but you messed up the ending there.
How did I say that last word?
Lloran.
Yaran? I said Loran, didn't I say Yaran? There we go.
There you go. There
what does that mean? I don't know. I took Spanish. I took like 2 years of high school Spanish, and I've had a tough time.
Like the whole title of it?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Women Don't Cry No More.
Women Don't Cry No More. Okay. All right.
Tour.
I dig the vibe. Tour. World Tour. Yes. Okay. I dig the vibe. Anyways, 8:30, it sounds like. Gates will open at 7. So if you were planning on arriving earlier, just be known you will be waiting outside until 7 o'clock today to get into the stadium to get ready for the concert. So just giving a PSA to people who are listening out there driving around right now, getting ready for your night. You have a little bit more time getting ready for the concert. Anyways, by the way, we're live here at Fashion Furniture. Fashion Furniture, of course, is in their 65th anniversary celebration here, 65 years. I mean, that is a long time. to be in business. You're going to find best names like Flex Steel, Bassett, Michael Nicholas, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more. And savings up to 40% on selected items with 0% financing. Plus, with every sale, that's right, every sale, Fashion Furniture will make a donation to the Honor Flight. That's right, that Honor Flight that we send our veterans to Washington, D.C. Awesome event, awesome thing that they do there with the Honor Flight. With every purchase, Fashion's going to take $25 from that purchase and give it to the Honor Flight there. So awesome stuff there from Fashion Furniture. Help them celebrate 65 years and help send a veteran to Washington, D.C. Special gifts to couples, by the way, with the 65-year anniversary celebration. Special gifts to couples who are married for 25 years, 35 years, 45 years, 55 years, and special gifts for those married for 65 years. Been in the business that long with your special someone. Come on down. They got something special for you. Only at Fashion Furniture here. There's nothing like it here in the state of California. All right. We got into an argument yesterday. And I got fired up. And we all got fired up. And I think Jorge got most fired up about some island takes. And one of them I revealed yesterday. It's part of my 5 at 5. I'm hoping. I know Tim Veer has participated. Jorge, do you have a couple takes at least in the chamber ready to roll as far as your takes you feel like you're on an island about? What you believe in sports is what you feel like you're on an island. Nobody else believes it, and yet you stand firmly on it. Jorge, do you have a couple in the chamber that you think about?
Not really, but yeah, I'll come up with something. Let me think about it.
I'm not asking for 5, but maybe I'll ask for yours after we are said and done with this segment, because okay. I'm excited to hear reactions here, because legitimately I don't know if the takes are too cold or too hot. I don't know, but we're gonna see where it is. And we went through the whole realm of sports here for this, and so we'll get into the qualifications of it. First, Jorge, can you roll the intro, Sam?
It's time now for Phil's 5 at 5.
Okay, so on an island, when you're on an island and you have a take, that's the gist of it is you are by yourself. This is a take so hot that you cannot possibly be with anybody else in this conversation. And so, Tanvir, what were your qualifications in I'm on an island about this take?
I feel like some of these I'm probably not on an island, but these are pretty hot. I think that it's got to be rooted in some sort of not just confidence, but you got to have some backing to it. And I think that as long as you make the other person think about it, right, I think you've done your job at least.
Okay. Makes you think.
Yes.
And it's just crazy enough
that you second guess.
It's just crazy enough that you're like, is that right? Is that something? But we'll see where it goes. We're gonna go back and forth. Top 5. Here we go. Jorge, let's roll with number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 for me is that I don't think the NFL MVP has ever gone to the best player of that season, in my opinion. I have examples that we could argue. Was Josh Allen the best player in the NFL last year? I don't believe so. I think he was a great narrative story to his team. I called it out early in that season that Josh Allen has the storyline. It's a storyline award. But to me, NFL MVP has never gone to the best player that year. Aaron Rodgers has won it a couple times. I don't personally think he was as good as maybe Mahomes in that 2020-2021 era, especially maybe that 2020 Brady year. Brady in 17, I don't think deserved to win the award, in my opinion. But that was such a strange year where it was the Case Keenum Vikings and the Carson Wentz Eagles that were going far, and so you're trying to find someone to kind of equivalent to it. Right. And suddenly Wentz got hurt, and so they just decided to defer it to Brady. In my opinion, I feel like NFL MVP has never gone to the quote-unquote best player statistically in the league. It has just gone to the narrative side of things.
Yeah, I mean, this is to kind of respond to yours. I think Christian McCaffrey should have won it a couple of years back, but maybe that is also a hot take in itself. But I think there needs to be a lot more love to the position players, not just the quarterbacks. I think Saquon Barkley had a shout last year with what he did. So yeah, that's all I got.
2012 is the last time we had a non-quarterback win an MVP, which is
AP?
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So my number 5, and I think this is relating to any sport.
Yes.
Defense does not win you championships anymore.
Okay.
All right. Defense is obviously still very important, but I think in this new generation where offenses across all sports, from baseball to basketball to soccer and football, they have become so advanced to the point where you need an amazing offense in order to get far in any of these sports. Obviously, defense is still very important. We understand that. And honestly, I think the defensive side of the ball at times can still be more fun to watch, but I don't think that applies these days for any of these leagues.
Or Jorge, why don't you be the arbiter? Who had the hotter take among each bullet point? You want to decide real quick?
I don't know. I feel like you saying that not always the MVP, the NFL not always gets the MVP right. It's not that controversial, but at the same time, I feel like
I'm not saying they don't get it right. I'm saying they never get it right. I'm saying they never get the best player of the league that year.
I do feel like you are on an island on that, because there are some. I last year I felt like the MVP was Allen. Really,
I thought it was Joe Burrow or Saquon Barkley, in my opinion.
I thought it was Saquon as well.
Saquon, see, like Saquon, I give you, I think maybe, but Joe Burrow, I don't know. I feel like Allen had better.
It felt like
more
his
challenges.
time, even though I knew it was his time. It just felt like it was his time kind of situation. But anyways, let's get to number 4. Did you decide though?
4.
There you go. Thanks, Pete. Did you make a decision yet, Jorge, on number 5?
On the one that I have?
Yeah. No. Who do you pick? Tanvir or me?
Well, I picked you. You were
okay.
You had,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 1-0 to me. There should be more cold weather Super Bowls, and honestly, I feel like every Super Bowl should be played in cold weather, because I am a moth to the flame when it comes to cold weather and winter sports. And football is a game of the elements. How many times do we hear it all the time? People get crazy about the fact that the game is determined by sometimes the elements, and I argue, when have we stopped playing sports in the outside? It blows my mind how many times I've seen stadiums that are built with the retractable roof and the whole thing and the controlled climate. That's not football to me. Football is in the mud. Football is in the elements. Football is won because you can take advantage of every element that is given to you, even the outside elements. I'm hearing talk about this Buffalo Bills stadium like there's wind that could be howling outside, and down on the field you can't feel it, even though they claim it's an outdoor stadium. To me, that just makes me so irrationally angry. I need more cold weather Super Bowls. I need more playoff games determined by the weather. Even if I got here to the Rams lost because of the weather to the Eagles. To be fair, I thought the Eagles did play a very good game against the Rams. I'm just a little bitter about it. But I think football should be won more often with the elements, and teams should be able to handle the elements and come up with concepts that should be able to do it. When you're a good football team, you should be able to handle all the elements in any which way possible. More cold weather Super Bowls, more bad weather, in my opinion, when it comes to determining champions.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Disagree, but I hear you out.
That's fair.
For sure. My number 4, I think this is for the future. I don't know if this kind of counts, but statistically speaking, Bo Nix is going to be the best quarterback in the AFC West next year. I think he's the second best rusher out of all of those 4 quarterbacks, based off a PFF grade in the AFC West behind Mahomes. And I think he's going to use his legs more often than any of those 4 guys. And in the passing game side, Sean Payton had Bo Nix clicking at the end of the year, and they just added Evan Ingram, and they have R.J. Harvey who's coming in at the through the draft. Cortland Sutton is still there. I think that this offense is going to be humming next year, and I think Bo Nix, statistically speaking, will be better than Patrick Mahomes. He'll be better than Justin Herbert, and he's going to be better than Geno Smith next year.
All right, Jorge, who had the hotter take there?
Definitely Tanvir. That is insane. An insane take.
Okay.
I don't agree with it at all, but I don't agree with yours either. But
you don't like the elements? Come on.
No. Come.
Get the retractable roofs out of here.
Play it in the summer. No weather.
We're not the World Cup, Jorge. We're not the World Cup. All right. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Phillip Rivers deserves to go in the Hall before his draft classmates Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. Yes, I said it. Statistically, in his career, he has more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions in that sense if we want to go the full archaic caveman look at it. I don't believe that playoffs should go into it. I understand 2 quarterbacks are 2-time Super Bowl champs, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, in statistics sense, but in my opinion, I think Phillip Rivers has had a more consistent career, a more durable career. I have enjoyed watching him play football more than anybody else. And to me, the Chargers, who were in flux of trying to figure out where they were going to play as opposed to what they were putting on the football field, had no reason to give Phillip Rivers anything good for him throughout his career. He dragged teams to the playoffs when it came to some certain years, including, I would say, one of his greatest accomplishments, his last playoff run when it was in 2018. I think Phillip Rivers has done more with less as opposed to what Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger has done, who were given the world and everything they had to win Super Bowls, maybe even sometimes despite them. Ben Roethlisberger was horrible at 05, and somehow that defense dragged him to a Super Bowl and ended up winning it over a really substandard Seahawks team. You could argue that I think that Cardinals Super Bowl maybe was his magnum opus, but other than that, Ben Roethlisberger's kind of been the butt end of a joke towards the tail end of his career. Phillip Rivers led a team to the playoffs and a Colts team that shouldn't have deserved to go to that playoffs, and yet then retired after, and he was stronger to the tail end of his career. Eli Manning, horrible to the tail end of his career. Phillip Rivers went out with a boom as opposed to the 2 players I'm talking about in his draft class that went out with a whimper. Phillip Rivers, even that culture, Phillip Rivers made a playoffs and had a big-time battle with Josh Allen and the Bills. Phillip Rivers deserves to go in the Hall before those 2 quarterbacks in his draft class.
I think I'm not going to say you convinced me, but you definitely opened me up to the take. So, good job.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Number 3 for me is Christian Pulisic is the greatest United States men's national team player of all time already. His club accomplishments are ridiculous at the standard that he's been playing. He's a 1-time Champions League winner. He's an Italian Supercoppa winner, UEFA Super Cup, and he has 77 goals and 70 assists over his senior club career across Chelsea, AC Milan, and Borussia Dortmund, 3 of the biggest clubs in Europe. Right, he was AC Milan's Player of the Year last year. But then beyond that, what he's done for the United States men's national team: 4-time USMNT Football Player of the Year, 3-time CONCACAF Nations League winner. He's got 31 goals, which is 5th in USMNT history already, but it's already the best goal per game ratio of the top 10 guys in USMNT history. 17 assists, that's second if you go by a per game basis. And in the 2022 World Cup, he delivered an iconic moment where he scored against Iran and they advanced from the group stage. And I think going into 2026, as down as we are on the USMNT, I think he will deliver because I think that he does show up in the big moments. So I love Clint Dempsey. I think Clint Dempsey has the best case in my opinion, and Landon Donovan is very close as well. But I think Christian Pulisic, not only from a technical standpoint, but from an accolade standpoint, is already ahead of those 2 guys, and he will far surpass both of those guys by the end of his career.
All right, Jorge. Who got it to you?
That's what I think of both takes. Those bold takes.
Really?
Horrible takes. The Pulisic, the best. Come on, what has he ever won with the U.S. national team? Has he ever even reached the quarterfinals? No. Like, come on. At least the 2002 team with Landon Donovan made the quarterfinals, And Phillip Rivers, what did he ever win? He didn't even make.
Why does it matter?
Well, it matters because he doesn't have any trophies. He doesn't have any accolades. He has records.
That's all he has.
He only has stats. He only has stats. He only has stats, and he had some of the greatest players with him, which was LT, Antonio Gates. He had some great defenses at a time where he could have gone places, and guess what? He always fell short. Those guys that you mentioned, the other 2 guys, they actually made it and made things happen. And that's the difference between being
on either end of it.
That's the difference.
The iconic defenses of that team, and the Chargers were
the Chargers had a chance to make the playoffs. Had a really good team I think it was 07 or 08. Can't remember the year, but and guess what? They didn't even make the playoffs.
Because they were horrible at special teams. And then whose fault is that? Philip Rivers? Are you kidding me? They were the worst special teams in the history of football. They had the number one defense, number one offense, and that's Philip Rivers' fault? Okay.
He has no trophies in his house. 0.
Trophies don't matter in sports, and that's my other big thing.
Sure. Okay.
I should have reformed what I was saying. I think Christian Pulisic is the greatest American player in history. Yes, he doesn't have the USMNT accolades that Landon and Clint do, but I think he has far surpassed both of them in the club realm, and he's on his. I mean, it's not like he hasn't won anything.
That doesn't matter.
We're running out of time. We're only on number 3, and we're 20 minutes into this segment, so we got to go. Jorge, go to number 2. I don't have much to say about mine.
Number 2.
Julio's better than Megatron. We already hashed this out yesterday. That's where I'm at. That's my number 2. Go ahead, Tanvir.
All right. David Tyree's helmet catch is a very overrated catch. I think I've said this before to you guys, and I think that the helmet catch itself, it doesn't have the degree of difficulty like a George Pickens does.
Get out of here.
Or a
Let's
guy
go.
like,
Leave. Take off.
Like Julian Edelman did. Julian Edelman against the Falcons, I think, is a better catch than what David Tyree
Are
did.
you freaking serious?
So,
no.
The Eli Manning getting out of the pocket is more impressive to me than him just putting the ball next to his helmet. I just think
let's move
that's
on.
Easy
Let's go.
Compared to what
Number
Julian did.
1.
People aren't ready to have the LeBron versus Steph Curry conversation.
Yeah, I'm not. And there's a reason why.
Because I think Steph Curry has played against more legitimate competition than LeBron, what he accrued in the mid-2000s, was against who? Dwayne Wade? Like, who else was he going up against in that year? The Duncan years? Yeah, okay. I respect the Spurs, and guess what he did against the Spurs in that time and era? Diddly squad. One of the worst finals I've ever seen in my life.
Do you know that roster? That team was horrendous.
Do you know the Eastern Conference in that time of year? And then the Boston Celtics got 2 brain cells and decided, you know what? This Eastern Conference is wide open. We can definitely win this thing. And they did by accruing the super team in 1 year. LeBron accrued a lot of stats in the early 2000s that I would argue against his subpar competition. When Steph Curry's come in the league, I think he played against much better competition, and he's also won out of a Western Conference that everyone can agree is a much tougher conference than what LeBron has been playing in over the last 18 years before he went to L.A. and then done what he did in L.A. I do argue that LeBron is maybe the most imposing physical player in basketball, and what he's done in his determination to get to the line and get to the basket in scoring and his ability. And yes, his durability is as great as it can be in the terms of the NBA history. But I'm not I'm frankly saying in the revolution and the way the sports that played in basketball, Steph Curry's done more in the game of basketball than maybe LeBron has, other than obviously what LeBron has done in terms of what people do in his fandom and follow him in his fandom. But I do legitimately believe Steph Curry has had as much of an impact on the NBA as LeBron has had in his career. Is it durable, and has it been as long as LeBron has had? And yes, we're still in. LeBron is overlapping Steph as far as how long he's played in the league, but I do believe Steph Curry has had a legit career that can be arguably comparable to what LeBron has done for the NBA.
Yeah, I just tuned you out. So
that's fine.
You know, I'm not even a Lakers fan and a LeBron fan, but this is my final one, and it's based off of the Lakers. So the Lakers winning a ring in the bubble is not as big of an asterisk as people make it out to be. I think if the Lakers were playing in the playoffs normally, they would have been the 1 seed, right? Meaning they lost the most home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs. And yeah, sure, I think you can argue compared to other playoff runs, it was relatively easy compared to some other teams. But this whole idea that the bubble itself is the reason to put an asterisk on this championship is asinine to me. I think the Lakers won a championship in the same situation as every other team did, and the situation shouldn't be the main reason why people frown upon that Lakers playoff run. That's basically what my take is. Yeah.
Jorge?
I feel like you're both wrong, but I think.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
We're on an island, man. This is what we're doing.
I think Phil's more wrong than Tamir, but yeah.
I don't care. I'm a homer. It's fine. Play the outro. Let's get out of this segment.
That was Phil's 5 at 5.
Boy, how are the eyebrows? Are they singed? I feel great.
I feel great too.
Fantastic. I feel like I spoke some truths. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more Behind the Bench right after this.
Giants baseball is here.
Chapman, it's a drive out to left center field. At the wall, it is gone!
Your home for Giants baseball lives on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Double play! And the inning is over.
Catch all the action home and away on the Central Valley sports leader, Giants baseball. Brought to you by Clovis Truck Center, Fashion Furniture, M Cubed Technologies, Lee's Air, and Clausen Automotive.
This summer, KFC and F1 the movie are putting the pedal to the metal. Your favorite fill-ups are back, only $7. Choose from crispy chicken, tasty tenders, or our classic famous bowl, each with a drink, sides, and even sweet pie poppers. Need more fuel? Every Tuesday, grab 8 pieces of KFC's dark meat fried chicken or original recipe tenders for just $10. And don't forget to cool off with our new Peaches and Cream Sweet Lightning Soda. Limited time only, price and participation may vary. KFC, your summer pit stop for flavor.
Hey, it's Phil Bonatti with Behind the Bench for my friends at Clovis Truck Center. Fall is just around the corner. Time for crisp air, camping trips, and weekend getaways. Whether you're towing your RV, heading to the mountains, or prepping for winter, Clovis Truck Center is your one-stop shop to get your ride adventure ready. Don't be a last-minute guy scrambling for gear that's out of stock. Be a planner like me. Order early, prep smart, and hit the road stress-free. Some essentials like brake controllers, hitches, or suspension upgrades can take 6 to 8 weeks to arrive, so don't wait. And don't forget that Clovis Truck Center also has roof racks, tonneau covers, lift kits, window tinting, and more to keep you ready and comfortable. And if you're in a pinch, Clovis Truck Center can have you in and out as quickly as the same day with all they provide. They have all the things you need in stock, so it's right there in the shop. No waiting on a part to be shipped in. Get ahead of the game with a visit at my friends at Clovis Truck Center today on Clovis Avenue, just south of the rodeo grounds in Old Town Clovis, or online at clovistruckcenter.com. Clovis Truck Center. Get ready because fall starts here.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients. And enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Clovis location, please call 559-324-1808 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Summer is here, and the hottest deals are at Valley Pure. For premium indoor house flower to tasty edibles, smooth vapes, must-have concentrates, and refreshing cannabis drinks, we've got everything you love at prices that keep you coming back for more. Stock up for your summer fun with unbeatable discounts across all Valley Pure locations. Whether you're looking to relax, celebrate, or spark up some good vibes in the sun, Valley Pure has the deals to keep the season rolling with easy online ordering and curbside pickup right from the app.
It was 106 degrees. The Johnsons were sweating, and their AC, dead silent. But 2 doors down, the Millers, cool and comfortable. Why? They called Lee's Air for a $99 AC maintenance before summer started. We catch problems before they catch you. Don't sweat the heat. Beat it. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, guaranteed. Call now or schedule at leesair.com.
Are cracked screens or dying batteries slowing you down? Don't fret! Visit Cellfix today for fast and reliable phone repairs. Our certified technicians specialize in fixing all major brands, ensuring your device is back in your hands in no time. Plus, enjoy peace of mind with our warranty on all repairs. Visit us at our convenient location at 6551 North Blackstone or call 559-765-8044 to schedule an appointment. Cellfix, your trusted partner in phone repairs. Get back to what matters. Stay connected with Cellfix.
Full sports leader. Live from Fashion Furniture, and I'm going to sound a little more relaxed because we are sitting in the Body Rest, the best home furnishings recliner here. At least I'm sitting in it. And I am in, I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm going to get there. Hold on. Let's see if we can go full recline here. Here we go. I'm in the Trendelberg. Let me see if I can do this again. Reset. Trendelenburg formation here, which my paper says elevates legs higher than the heart. I'm feeling it. Promoting circulation, reducing swelling in the legs and feet, therapeutic benefits for circulation issues. Those ones a deeper state of rest. Every time I do this segment, I'm in danger of falling asleep while I'm talking and giving takes here. Tim Veer's sitting to my right, and you got to nudge me awake if I end up falling asleep in the middle of takes here. But you want to get into this chair, I'm telling you, at Passion Furniture. And a reminder, any purchase you make, whether it's this chair or many other chairs, $25 of that purchase will go to the honor flight here in Fresno to send our veterans to Washington, D.C. I'm going to sit up a little bit higher because I don't think I can do radio when I'm facing the ceiling. So we're going to get back to a more normal situation. Jorge, that was one of our more, Tim Veer, that was one of our more chaotic, I would say, segments we've had in quite some time. Do we want to evaluate our do we just want like a lasting image on what we just did of radio the last 25 minutes or so for the people who missed it?
I just want to say
we need to.
I just want to say
anything
that
we need to hash out.
You know, saying that the catch, the Tyrese catch, wasn't. It's overrated. It's insane to me.
That's the one that's most objectionable to you. That's the one that's most objectionable.
Well, they're all crazy,
the
to be honest. But I mean, the guy went up in the air and caught a freaking ball with one hand on his helmet like that. How is that overrated?
I'm pretty sure the ball touched both of his hands before it went to the helmet, and that's an easy transition.
I think it's one hand. I'm pretty sure he caught it with one hand. I cannot think
still.
of the two hands situation. And Rodney Harrison, I'm telling you, doing that with Rodney Harrison on your hip, and Rodney Harrison to me is a Hall of Famer in the National Football League and is one of the strongest safeties I've ever seen. No pun intended with what position he played. He is one of the best safeties I've ever seen in football. In my opinion, and that is me totally being a Patriot homer saying that. Him doing that against Rodney Harrison is as good as it can be in terms of plays I've ever seen in a football field, and I'm very mad. It makes me so mad, makes me boil thinking about that play. It riles up childhood trauma for me, that play, and so.
I mean, good catch.
I hate the play. I understand your stance. I hate the play. It is man. That's funny. It's the only one that we're all like really objectionable about because I'm pretty sure I said some crazy stuff that might get me sent to sports jail. So, like, I'm pretty sure. You don't want to entertain Steph and LeBron. You don't want me to. We're not having that conversation.
That will take us an hour and a half of just pure arguing. So let's not deal into that.
That's, you know what, Tanvir proved my point because people aren't ready for that conversation. He clearly wasn't. You tuned me out and you said that proved my point exactly.
We are not ready for that conversation because
the world isn't ready.
The conversation will never be had.
So, anyways, all right, that's where we're at. I had this segment slated to just talk a little bit of football. I think for Fresno State side of things, I think what I wanted to just kind of point out, because I didn't really get a chance to talk about the practices I saw recently with especially the quarterback situation. The more I sit and watch about this thing, I wonder what kind of quarterback Fresno State fans want. Is where does Fresno State fans want it? What do they want most out of their quarterback position? We've been pretty blessed with some good quarterbacks that have come through here, guys who are capable of making an NFL roster and having a plus impact on NFL teams in terms of playing at the quarterback position. So the standard of quarterback play is high. What do Fresno State fans want out of their quarterback? And that is the main question of what. And I don't think that goes into the decision making of what Coach Entz is deciding, because I don't think he necessarily has to have that prerogative in his mind. But I got to imagine that Fresno State fans are going to certainly have a certain opinion of who they want versus what Coach Entz wants. I just wonder if it aligns in that same form of fashion. I'll ask either of you. Do you, among the three that we've been hearing, I don't know if you've had a strong opinion of who you want to see win the quarterback position. You've already heard some rumblings about it. I've seen a couple of the guys throw, or I've seen everybody throw, and I've seen everybody do the warm-ups in camp. Is there a clear opinion that you guys have? I'll go to Jorge first, maybe, between E.J. Warner, Carson Conklin, Jaden Mandel. Like, is there any guy that you are rooting for more than anybody else, or you more like I'm going to see what we get when we get to week 0, which is Kansas in a couple of weeks?
I think I want to get to Kansas, and the reason why is because I honestly believe this group of quarterbacks, at least the top 3 that you mentioned, they are pretty similar. They're not. I don't think they're like ready.
There's not Josh Wood versus Mikey Keene, right? Because those are two totally different dudes.
Right.
Who were playing quarterback last year, right? So it feels like you're having your more stereotypical, not like your, I would say, prototypical like 6'3" guy, 6'4" guy who's going to stand in the pocket and be a tower in there and make throws, but you're going to have these guys who have the ability to read a defense, have the ability to throw on the run in an accurate fashion. And I think decision-making is what Bulldog fans maybe value the most the last couple of years, right? Because there's been some maddening things when it comes to quarterbacks taking chances. I mean, when's the last time? I mean, was Haener? Haener's got to be the last time you felt like a guy dropped back and you thought he wasn't going to make a throw you weren't gonna like, right? Or did you? Sometimes I felt like that with Haener a little bit. there were some times I got a little nervous.
I think that the last time I thought we had Fresno State had a quarterback that was probably the number one in that position was probably McMarion.
Marcus, you trusted
Marcus.
Marcus's decision making, yeah.
Yeah, I think when he came in and he was above shoulders of everybody else in that position, and he took that and ran with it for 2 years, and he just wasn't NFL material. But other than that, I mean, he was perfect for college football.
I can feel that. Tanvir, what are your thoughts on what we've been talking about there with the quarterback position?
Yeah, I think the quarterback position, when you have some type of similarity like you are seeing within these 3 guys, I think what E.J. Warner and Carson Conklin are the 2 guys that are kind of the front runners right now. So I think what I'm looking most forward to is who's going to be able to complement that running game the most. And I know both of those guys, they can. I just look, if I were looking into camp and looking into the quarterback class, which guy can make other defenses think about the running game even more beyond just the running backs, and be obviously having a good pocket presence is something that is necessary at the quarterback position. You need to be obviously able to throw the ball. You can't just be a running back there. But I think that's where I would like to see the Fresno State football offense go. I think you just lean more into that running game and see if you – I'm not saying run straight like Air Force, right?
Yeah.
But lean into that. Lean into what you're good at and make it work. And then maybe you can get these defenses, even though they know it's coming, they still are off balance. So
yeah, I mean, you think about quarterbacks in college, right? And, unless you're – when we think of the super duper guys, unless you have the Cam Wards and the Caleb Williams style kind of guy, it's more of just get the job done. I'm not asking for too much out of that. And frankly, it kind of felt like Mikey Keene thought he was better than what he thought he was, I would imagine, when we were watching him all of last year and the last couple of years. And so I don't want a guy who's not totally confident in what his ability is, and he has an ability to take some chances, whoever the quarterback will be. I just need somebody who is sound in what they are looking at when it comes to a defense and preparation and what they see pre-snap and what they see and evaluate. I think the throws can be made by all 3 guys from what I'm seeing. What I want is where they command the offense in the beginning of the play, when they line up, what it looks like, and what they can set up the offense into. I think that's been more paramount in terms of success at the quarterback position in college than anything else. That's such an advantage if you have a guy that can command, pass, protect, set up everything when it comes to what the defense look is, and maybe set up where the play is going to go based off of what they're looking at in terms of pre-snap. I wonder how often we see sometimes quarterbacks just go up and coaches just don't trust a guy to be able to do that and make snap judgments in terms of that in college.
Right.
But I think I hope because Vince is such a junkie for the game that he is willing to have those conversations with his quarterbacks and have that flexibility to be able to trust guys, because football's a lot about trust. Football's a lot about what these guys can be trusted to do, and I just hope that our coaches can trust these guys to do something because they feel a little more free to be able to make the plays they need to make.
Yeah, for sure. Like, when you look at some of these quarterbacks that have been very good for Fresno State in the past, they had that command. You know, a guy like Derek Carr, like you were asking earlier, like, who's the last quarterback who dropped back and you had some confidence in them. That's basically I'm not saying you have to be at a Derek Carr level, but the command has to be there. The ability to look at a defense and break it down has to be there. And those are just, I think, the things that those are things you learn on the way there. You can't really just pick those things up as you are in college. And so taking into account how smart these guys are is definitely something that is necessary for the Fresno State job.
Yeah. I got to imagine Entz is going to make a decision by next week. I got a feeling that is probably what's going to be going down. I know, and if you want to do the read between the lines thing, I know the football dinner is next Thursday for the kickoff dinner for all the people who are the big donors and everything like that. I wonder if he wants to make that decision before then so people can get really hyped and have the starting quarterback ready to be talked about in front of the donors. And so he has that lineup that's getting ready to go play Kansas. So I'm just, when you want to read tea leaves, that's one of those things. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know the donor dinner is next Thursday, so I got to imagine the deadline's then as far as the decision is concerned. And then he goes into Monday's presser with all the questions and what he's getting ready to do in preparation for Kansas. So other than that, I think the offense is obviously the more fascinating side of the ball for me with the Bulldogs. I think defense can kind of figure itself out in college. You get a couple of athletes, and everybody else can kind of make their way in terms of the defensive side of the football. So it is a matter of scoring points in this Mountain West, in which I opinion will feel like, for some teams, a track meet sometimes when you're playing against them.
I mean, it's become such an offensive game at this point, right? Like, there's not that many competent defenses in college football.
No, there's not.
So
other than the Big Ten and what a couple of their powerhouses
sometimes,
have, right?
yeah, right. Like some of these Michigan teams in the past couple of years. But other than that, like, if you have that good offense, that good quarterback, you're usually able to win some games. As long as you can put points up on the board, that's definitely an exciting prospect, and that's definitely the thing that's going to win games for Fresno State.
Certainly. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap up the show next. Right after this, one more break. We'll be back for the last segment of Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Listen to your Fresno Grizzlies on ESPN Radio. That's right. Select games will be on 1430 and 790 ESPN Radio, your local sports leader. The Fresno Grizzlies at Chikchincy Park are always entertaining. Times and more. And keep it right here on 1430 ESPN Radio, your local sports leader.
Sports fans of the Central Valley, are you ready to step up your game day grilling? Step into the Butcher Boss and discover winning flavors the champions crave. Ask about their 5 for $35 deal, where you can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
As of today, the 30% federal solar tax credit is still available for homeowners looking to save energy and money, but it's scheduled to be phased out on December 31st, 2025. The time to call Donald P. Dick is now, 255-1644. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy. The deadlines for installing solar and taking advantage of the tax credits are December 31st. Call Mr. Cool at 255-1644.
Sports fans, whether you're gearing up for your next adventure or simply searching for the perfect ride, Ed Dina's Auto Center has you covered. Now, let's hear from the 2018 Mountain West champion, Marcus McMarion.
Hey, it's Marcus McMarion. At Ed Dina's Auto Center, they'll make car shopping as smooth as a game-winning play. Whether it's a truck, SUV, or the car of your dreams, their incredible team is here to guide you every step of the way. Ed Dina's Auto Center in Dinuba and now in Visalia off Mooney Boulevard. Online at eddinasautocenter.com.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Hey Fresno, Chris Swart out here, operating partner Jack's Car Wash Companies, located on the southwest corner of Cedar and Shepherd. Don't miss out on this winning combo.
That's right, Jack's Car Wash has a brand new Pepsi and Coke soda fountain, plus a new Keurig coffee station featuring your favorite national brands. Plus, Jack's full detailing is backed by popular demand. Schedule yours today by calling 435-7335.
Jack's Car Wash and ESPN Fresno. The double play of a great car wash and a great broadcast. Let's go Giants!
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at banyantreefresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Sure. At participating locations.
Both had to build a stadium. ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Wrapping up our show here at Fashion Furniture. Let's remind you what's coming up on the schedule for the rest of the week here. Nothing tonight on the ESPN airwaves, although you want to listen to some of our programming. We got your ESPN programming tonight. No Giants. They're on an off day. A's already played today, and I believe they won. They beat the Nationals, which makes them 2 out of 3 winners over Washington. And guess what they do? They sent them on over to San Francisco for that one. So tomorrow we'll have Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D from 2 to 3. We'll have my show from 3 to 6, full 3 hours tomorrow. Giants and Nationals, 6:45 pregame with a 7:15 first pitch from San Francisco. A's are going to be in Baltimore, 3:30 pregame, 4:05 first pitch from Baltimore on 790. Saturday, the return of Central Valley Sports Report is here. Paul Metters will be hosting 10 a.m. to noon from First String Sports this Saturday on 1430. Following him, Giants and Nationals, 12:35 pregame, 1:05 first pitch. A's and Orioles on 790 that day as well. Sunday, we'll have Giants and Nationals, 12:35 pregame. A's and Orioles at 10 a.m. on 790. We'll be back for more show Monday. Behind the Bench returns with another full 3 hours before Giants and Padres on that Monday. All right, Jorge, get the music back. We got another 50 States in 50 Days trivia to cap off the show. You ready, Jorge? Yeah. Tanvir's ready.
Yes, I am.
Got to go 3 for 3 to fit his proclamation here.
Let's do it.
State of Illinois. Number 3 athlete from the state of Illinois is a 3-time NBA champion, a Finals NBA MVP, 13-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA. He was the scoring champ during that stretch. He is a 75th NBA anniversary team member and was inducted in the Basketball Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I'd imagine some guy of his magnitude would have been a quick entrant. So I would imagine he played in around the 2000s, 2010s era then. You said 3-time champion? Okay, so a 3-time champion around that time would have been the Warriors, but I don't think anybody. The Heat. Lakers. I think I need another clue. I think I'm close though.
He has played in the Final Four for his college.
Final Four for his college.
And that college's appearance in the Final Four was their first since 1977.
Okay, so it's I think I know. Is this Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade is correct. It is Dwayne Wade, NBA Finals MVP in 06, scoring champ in 08 and 09. He was a champ in 06, 2012, 2013 for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
There you go. One Finals MVP. How about 34.7 points per game across 6 games in 06?
Yeah, he was on.
So, here we go. Athlete number 2.
I'm nervous.
He is a 2-time NBA champ. He is an NBA Finals MVP. He is a 12-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. Inducted in the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2000.
Yeah, this one might be one where I'm cooked. Okay, wait, how many time NBA champion?
2-time NBA
Two-time
champion.
NBA champ. Okay. Hakeem comes to mind.
Did he play in Detroit?
He is his franchise's all-time leader in minutes played, points, assists, and steals.
Then the Detroit maybe giving me a thought. Is this Isaiah Thomas?
It is Isaiah Thomas.
All right.
Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is not better than Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
Maybe that's just like the young guy in me, but dude, stop it.
Finals MVP.
Come on.
5-time All-NBA. I don't know. We'll see. This is what ESPN says. Number 1 is a baseball player. Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh. This player, an American League MVP, 2-time World Series champ, 10-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger. He won a Gold Glove. He was inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2009.
2009.
2009.
Yeah, he was inducted in 2009 to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? Just like the back end of those stats.
He was a 10-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, a Gold Glover in 1981. He won the AL MVP award, and he's won 2 World Series championships. Here's another stat for you. He has 81 career leadoff home runs. That is the most all-time in Major League Baseball history.
1981, you said he was
a Gold Glover.
Gold Glover.
Yeah. Ho-hum. 1990 American League MVP.
I told you this was going to be my downfall if
He
I
is.
didn't get the.
He is an all-timer. An all-timer to
Okay,
me.
so I guess 80s all-timer. He's a position player, probably not a pitcher.
I don't know if I can give any more stats. There's
Yeah.
another bullet point that would absolutely give it away.
1980s. I'm just gonna say I don't even know. I don't even have a
Think
answer.
the Athletics.
The A's. Okay. See again.
Won the World Series in '89 and '93. Jorge might get this now. Are we warm, Jorge? Are you? Do you got a name?
No.
Some would say he is one of the greatest base stealers of all time.
Oh, is this Ricky?
Actually, he stands alone, you would say,
Is
in
this
that.
Henderson?
Ricky Henderson.
Yes.
But I don't know if I can count
yeah.
that. I don't know if I can count that.
He
Tim
passed
Beer.
away. He passed away recently, right?
He did pass away recently, like literally earlier this year. And the A's have that patch, and they've been wearing it all year. And Ricky, run.
Probably the most notable ace of all time, maybe?
Him, Dennis Eckersley, I think of. I think of Vida Blue. I think of Dave Stewart. from those 80s and 90s athletic teams. 1,406 career stolen bases. That is the most all time. No one else in Major League history has more than 1,000. Just
different.
130 stolen bases in 1982. That is the single season record since 1990. He's had 7 seasons with at least 75 stolen bases most all time. The man was a freak. All right, guys.
I'm gonna give myself a 4.5.
Didn't
hit the 5.
We'll see what you got around the corner. Dan Veer, Jorge, appreciate it. Great show.
Great show.
I'm gonna head to Shakira, and I'm gonna see y'all there. And
Another great show.
Y'all have a great night, and we'll be back tomorrow at 3:00. See you then.
Calling all heroes, Marvel Superhero Night returns to Chuck Chansey.
Thanks, Jorge.
Friday, August 15th, presented by
Thanks, Jorge.
General. Be among the first 2,500 fans and receive an exclusive comic book giveaway. Meet amazing costume character performers, capture legendary photos, and gear up with exclusive Marvel merchandise available only at the Grizzlies team store.